cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.
Yesterday, so you might not have seen it yet. Hope it makes sense. I did see it, Words. I did see it come across. I'm very grateful for your comments. I'm going to respond to you on it, but I do appreciate it. I love the feedback. It's very good feedback, and I appreciate it. And Words was telling me about the Trump interview, the Trump Megyn Kelly interview, which you haven't seen it yet. Quite good. I mean, it's good. And I think Trump is getting almost better at these. Is that fair? He did Megyn, and then he turned right around and he did Kristen Welker. And he, in the Kristen Welker interview, he like was on the offense, going against Pelosi and really defending himself in a way I thought was quite good. I'm like, oh my gosh, if he gets more of this going for him, he's going to be a force. We've got Not Brandon here with a nice dono in the house. Says, we are buying a plane. Let's all pray. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's do it. Not Brandon. I appreciate it. Thanks for sending the dono in. We're going to get there one way or another. Maybe I should start one of those thermometers. We could start an F-35 fund. 80 million. Put the thermometer back here. All right. Thanks, Brandon. It says, let's all pray for my wife who has COVID. And more importantly, me, who is hiding from her. All right. So prayers for our friend, Miss Is Not Brandon, over there at the Not Brandon household, who hopefully have a very speedy recovery from COVID. And hopefully Brandon also does not catch it while he's in quarantine over the course of the week. But rest up, get those fluids, stay healthy.
She's a good girl.
Friends, I hear it's
actually give people her number if you don't have any. So.
And people are getting sick, sniffles and all sorts
to
of things.
It.
But we'll be thinking about you guys over there. Hang tough. Keep checking back here. And we're sending lots of good love and energy over to the.
Who's your PO?
Sands. And this is Not Brandon. Prayers over on YouTube.
I'll let Carrie know.
From K-Bean. Good stuff. And the doctor says, many chemo treatments don't cause alopecia. He likely did have cancer. Personally, I think he wanted to milk every square inch of that diagnosis. Thus, the unattractive do-rag. You're kidding me. Are you saying that Jamie Raskin would exploit a label for his own personal gain? You're kidding me. Yeah, I think you're probably right about that, and line. And again, it's like, look, I don't want. He probably did have cancer, and I hope he recovered. I hope he no longer has cancer, right? I hope he is quickly recovered from it. But certainly, I think he's probably right about that. Yeah. Try to milk it for what it's worth. This one came in from Spuds. Rob, didn't you have one as a kid? I don't think so. I don't think I had one of these. Is this a Lego? This isn't a Lego version. Is this like another separate Lego thing? When did this come out? What era was this? So I was more of a Power Rangers era. Yeah, I was more of a Power Rangers era. Yeah. I mean, Power Rangers was what? I mean, I was just born in 1985. So when was Transformers? That was like an 80s thing. So I mean, I probably wouldn't have been into anything until probably like the 90s, which I think 90s was like Power Rangers, right? Yeah, like G.I. Joe was also 80s, right? So like I missed all that. Yeah, like G.I. Joes I missed, Transformers I missed. All of that was like a little early. And then I got into Legos. I was really big into Lego. We had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when I was a boy, right? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was boy. And then Power Rangers was, like a little bit of an older boy, like a... Yeah, but it's good stuff, man. And I think I did miss Transformers. Like I missed Transformers, and G.I. Joe was the other one. G.I. Joe was the other one that like I was growing up, and I remember there were a bunch of like I used to go to the older kids' houses and like there would be Transformers and there would be G.I. Joe stuff. And I was like, what are these? Like, what are these toys? You know, and I didn't really get it. But they were just a little older, I think. So it's pretty funny. It's good stuff, man. I love that nostalgic stuff. I still love Legos. Shout out to Bonnie for the Legos up here. Bonnie, we got Bonnie's Statue of Liberty up there now. TMNT was for cool girls too, says Sweet Potato. Was it? Which one were you? I was Raphael. Raphael for the Ninja Turtles. And for the Power Rangers, gosh, I don't know, man. I think that was probably, I mean, you know, it had to be like either red or the white or the green. I mean, the green turned into white, right? So it had to be one of those two. Leonardo and Mikey, yeah. Dark Knight animated series. Those Batman cartoons were great. Hey Gypsy, my friend has the COVID. I asked how she knows. She can't taste or smell anything. She's serious. Well, I hope she gets well. Where's JC says, we did get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, though. I had the pizza launching van. Yeah, we had that stuff. So I was one of 3 boys. You know, we had all the boy stuff. Transformers was my brother, 1980. Yeah, that's cool. So that was a little bit before my time. G.I. Joe was me, 1983. Awesome. Yeah, HNI Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson. Battlestar Galactica. I like that show. Star Wars, love that too. J6 Legos. Yeah, I just moved the J6 Legos. Where did I move them to? I moved them around here somewhere. I just moved them. I swapped them out for Lady Liberty. Oh my gosh, Angie Warren. I have 6 boys. My sons had them and all the movies. 6 boys. Woo. Man, I was one of 3. One of 6 is a whole different ballgame. Jonah says, Rob, your dollar will be fine as long as Bretton Woods is in place, but FDR guarantees the destruction of America with the Bretton Woods Agreement. Yeah, I'm not sure if it is. So there was another great interview. Ray Dalio had a good conversation with the guys over at the All In podcast. They just published that, I think, this weekend. It was good. And he's talking about the future. It's pretty messy. Sweet Potato says, I used to tease my sister for being Raphael because she was angry. It was like an insult in our house. It's probably why I was Raphael. He was like the most intense one. He was like intense, you know. I'm like, intense. Urgh! That's me. And then Michelangelo, he's always like just bouncing around, like always so goofy and careless. I'm like, hey man, there's serious business to attend to here. Michelangelo is probably like my brother Eric, to be honest about that. He's like, you're always goofing around, man. Don't you know we have a whole city to save against Shredder? Former says, my folks didn't have a lot of money, so I had a brick and a 2x4 to play with. There's a lot you can do with a brick and a 2x4. Sometimes it's a lot more fun than some of the actual toys. Donatello was pretty good too. Yeah, Donatello was H&I. Donatello probably would have been my second. Yeah, there's a lot you can do with a brick and a 2x4. FBI enters the chat. Oh, hello. They're all asleep. Oh, we've got some construction conversation here. Yeah, you marry a Donnie. Yeah, the Ninja Turtles era to me was the end of the good cartoons. They felt really good. I did like the Ninja Turtles. They were good. Thank you, DRA. Dre Williams in the house. I appreciate that. Thank you, Keister Bunny. What's up, Spitfire? Who remembers the Battle Beasts? I don't think I remember those. Yes. Evel Knievel. Transformers. Yeah, I never really got much Transformer time. Optimus Prime, all of that. And that's why those newer movies, you know, are the new movies any good? I never really watched the new movies, too, because I never really connected with it. DuckTales. I remember Bob Ross.
It's 10-hour shifts through the 4 days. Yeah.
I read a lot of comics. I was a big
Once in a
Garfield
great
fan,
while they'll have you guys come in for an extra
huge
day, but
Calvin
that's all
Hobbes
overtime.
fan, huge. And then I was a big, I actually liked Dilbert, even though I was a kid, didn't know anything about Office Space, but I liked Dilbert. I liked the Far Side a lot. Love all that stuff. Far Side, love the Far Side. Calvin and Hobbes, my jam.
What is your
loved Calvin and Hobbes. So good.
Your last four?
I was reading an interesting story about him. Bill Watterson, you know, he ended after 10 years like that. He just ended. And which I didn't realize. And I know he ended like abruptly, but it was like 10 years. It was a short run. He had all these potential for licensing deals and everything. And he just hung it up, man. He was young. He was like 37 and just like retired, you know, just done. And it's like, wow, what a trip. Yeah, it's profound, man. And I was reading the last comic that Bill Watterson ever put out, and I almost got emotional. It was like reading the last one, you know, and it was like, oh my gosh, like I just read it this weekend. And yeah, like my heart was like,
good,
wild.
Good.
We had an appointment for one.
Banging on something.
Have a seat, relax. We print out what we're gonna need here now.
It was just masterful. It was. And
here a little bit before you go and take out your ID and stuff.
You have Brandon has all the collections. Yeah. I did at one point too. I don't think I still have them, but
well,
so good.
They haven't answered me yet. And I at least want to get the things together we need.
It's really good.
So if they say yes, we can instantly get you going. You know what I'm saying?
Really connected. I mean, I some of my best friends came out of Calvin and Hobbes. Like, you know, just reading the comics together. You just connect at a deep level. It's very, very cool.
And Greg, I got to do the same.
Like
whenever we bring anybody back,
out there,
they just have to approve.
There has to be. I'm sure. I'm just not. What's going on? Somebody is doing like some scraping or something next door. I'm not sure what it is.
You were actually there with us before too.
Word says I had my kids from 1981 to
2016.
1989. They never really got into the Turtles or Power Rangers. That's probably why they ended up the way they did. They'll probably need counseling due to the deprivation. Calvin and Hobbes, however, was the bomb. Well, that's the good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. It's Can you hear it? It's like coming in. They're doing construction next door, but I don't know what they're doing on that particular wall right now. It's very interesting. Yeah, it's good stuff. Calvin and Hobbes is good stuff.
I'm having to do a Zoom at the same time. I'm just listening to it though.
Yeah, I am in it's like an office. Well, it's like a townhouse.
Monday morning crap.
But the first floor is kind of set up like an office. It's weird. Like the first floor kind of opens into like a street. Like if I wanted to, I could have like an attorney's office right here where I'm sitting, or like a counselor's office or something, and it wouldn't be weird, you know. Like it'd be like I could move upstairs and all. Anyways.
Yep. Yeah, she's the one I'll ask.
Read and sci-fi and fantasy. Which authors?
She makes those big decisions.
So like growing up, well, I would read. Yeah, I would read. Like I liked the one that really stood out to me as a child was 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. That was like a pretty profound one for me. That's when I started like realizing that there was a sci-fi world. So like stuff like that, I would say.
Amen.
Growing up, I liked a lot of nonfiction stuff growing up. I don't know. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Yeah, I read that one. I was trying to think. I mean, like I wasn't like a big like series reader. I wasn't like a big fiction reader. Like one of the most impactful. So I like to read biographies a lot. So I read like Einstein's biography, and I liked history stuff. I liked one of the most impactful books that I've ever read was How to Win Friends and Influence People, which I read as a young man, or as a young boy, I think, and it really left a mark on me. Stuff like that.
What's your last four?
Right now, I'm listening to the current sci-fi that I'm listening to right now is called The Singularity, which is pretty good. I just finished up. I'm reading
What ship were you looking for?
Trap by Dennis Taylor. It's It's narrated by Ray Porter. I really like Ray Porter as a narrator.
Buck less, but they're doing the perfect attendance incentive now too. Anyway, so it's about the same. It's $1 more an hour if you
The
show up every day
other
on time.
sci-fi one
I really kind of prefer first shift.
It's fine.
that I really like.
We're hiring for both. So
where is it?
now they're as busy as I've ever seen them right now.
Cody's day shift supervisor.
Oh, Project Hail
Yeah,
Mary
Cody and
by
Ruth.
Andy Weir.
I
like him. He's the same guy who wrote The Martian. I
Don't need
liked
to
that one.
explain.
That was a fun
Don't
audible.
need to explain.
Project Hail Mary. And then I started, I also
Ruth.
bought his book called Artemis.
I don't think
Haven't
we'll
read that one yet.
ever leave. I think
The Martian, of
there will always
course.
be a place for her for some reason.
Yeah, there's good stuff out there.
She was over here for a while too.
Kind of in my audible queue.
I think with me, my feet being my own transportation, it'd probably be a lot more easier for me to.
I had a full encyclopedia in my bedroom.
Oh, I
growing
agree.
up. I read it cover to cover twice. I liked that. I liked that stuff. Yeah, I had I had stuff like that too. You remember those when we
Gotcha.
were kids? They had these like space books. Like they had like these almost
Sure.
like illustrated encyclopedias.
Just pull your
and they
folder
would be,
rather
like
than-
huge. You can just read all of them, like dinosaurs, and I like animals a lot. Really like dinosaurs a lot. Really like space. Love space. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Those like really big ones. They're kind of easy for kids, but they're.
We'll probably just have to do the I-9 for
before the
you.
internet, you know.
Yeah, just
They were
on the
just
computer
back
part.
there.
So okay.
Okay, and so Sweet Potato says, "How often do you think about Rome?" Well, I don't want to ruin it. Let me save that. Let's do a poll. Let's do a poll review tomorrow morning. Is that fair? T. Lewis. So we'll give everybody a chance to vote. You probably know. I mean, you could probably guess. T. Lewis, I'm not that much different than the meme, okay? T. Lewis is here. Says, Thundercats. What's up, T. Lewis? And Tim the Mechanic. What's up, Tim? Says, what I notice on YouTube is the mass amounts of people from the black community coming out for Trump. I mean, they are good with growing followers. That's, you mean like in general, like that type of content brings attention to people, which is good. Yes. So more and more people are waking up, I think, and recognizing that, well, I don't know. I don't know that that's even just a black community thing. I think it's probably just a whole American thing. I think a lot of people are realizing that the lies that they were told about Trump are just not true. Toenailless Cupcake says, Rob, YouTube is deleting my comments and they don't violate any rule and you're in a members only section. Maybe it's because I was on the wrong thing. Are your comments here? Yeah, I'm not deleting anything. I don't think anybody's deleting anything. So if YouTube is like censoring your comments, then I'm not sure what that's about, Toenailless. YouTube starting to be the launch pad for OnlyFans adverts? What? I sure hope not. Yeah, I sure hope not. Mark Levin has a new book coming out. Are your comments naughty? No, never. This is a family show. Jonah says, October 17 will be 10 years anniversary of Diane. Reedy, you Freemason cannot serve two gods. I'm not sure who that is. Who is Diane or Reedy? Woodchip says, how do I get to that poll? Sweet Potato says, I hate waiting. I know. That's the point. That's why we do it this way. It's good. You know, it's good. It's good for all of us to exercise our patience, you know. All right. Well, can you see the results? If you click and you vote, can you see the results on it? All right. So you can vote in the poll. And the poll is right here. Right here. Take the shirt in the Rome poll. It uses your email. Oh, I hope it doesn't. I thought I turned that setting off. Yeah, Highland's here. What's up, Highland? Yeah, on the Tolkien books, Rob dissed the constant singing in the Tolkien books. Much of it is based on Finnish lore, but there's a lot of interesting details in there. Tolkien was really into North mythology and folklore. But Tweak agrees it is annoying. Oh, I know. It was kind of rough. Right T says politics is testing my patience enough. No doubt. Well, let me see. The poll shouldn't be collecting your email addresses. I don't need your emails if you don't want them. Oh, I think it says not shared. Yeah, okay. Hopefully it says not shared. So like when you go over there, like it says not shared. So that you're not, I don't think I'm collecting those. I turned that off. Yeah. Yeah, just making sure. No, thanks for flagging that for me. Sweet. I appreciate that. So yeah, if you want to vote on that, we'll take a look at the results. And Spuds is here. Calvin and Hobbes as superheroes. So that's funny. So that's like, this is like The Rock and Jason, what's his face? The martial artist guy. Calvin and Hobbes, that's funny. I'd watch it, for sure. Sounds good. Okay, my friend, so let us leave it there. Statham, that's the guy. Let us leave it there. It is a beautiful, beautiful Monday. We're back in business. It's going to be a pretty full day today. We've got Hunter is suing the IRS because he's been harmed in America. And we'll go through that. We've also got Trump's recusal response. Should be fun. I have a sponsored video is coming out today at 1 o'clock. So this weekend I recorded a video about the gag order that Jack Smith requested. So I've got a sponsored video on YouTube coming out at 1 p.m. Thank you for clicking our sponsored videos and supporting our sponsored videos. We have, I think I've got a Trump clip or two from his interviews over the weekend. And so it is going to be a busy, busy day. Going to jump into some show prep, my friends. I hope your week is off to an amazing start. Hopefully you had a great weekend. Got some time to recover, rejuvenate, because we've got full week ahead. We're looking forward to getting to it. So until I see you in a few hours, my friends, I do hope you make it a great day. We'll be back here soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah, he's looking out. Whenever you stop at Hacker Street exit, yeah, Nick, go ahead and start this way. He's pointing out the window and stuff. So it's on the opposite. We're Route 9 and Hacker Street.
How we doing? How are ya? Mo Bancher with Hillsborough PD. What's your name, man?
You know better than that.
What's that?
You know better than that.
Okay. Well,
You know better than that.
Okay, do you have your driver's license
What are you pulling me over
I'm
for?
pulling you over for because you...
Because I went like that to you?
Nope.
Oh, was it the other one?
Nope.
No?
Okay.
It wasn't?
Go
Because
ahead,
you know I
step out of the car
fucked you up.
Step
what?
out of the car. Step out of the car for me,
I'm asking
okay?
what the road-
You have a court order against a female with matching her description,
I
so
do know.
step out of the car.
I do know.
You do.
I didn't give you my ID
Okay,
and you
go
said
ahead.
stuff.
Go ahead, step out of
Is
the
that
car.
what you're
though.
pulling me
I'm
over
asking
for?
you to step out of the car. Do you have ID? Okay.
Am I being
So we-
detained right now?
You are.
For what
Yeah.
time? For what time?
So we can right now.
For what time?
What's that?
Don't touch me. Don't touch it.
Okay.
You. You. I'm not resisting, so don't put that up. You body cam? Are you recording?
I already told
What's
you
your name
about
and badge number? ID yourself. ID yourself.
Do Do you have ID on you?
For what?
Because I told you, we're trying to ID him. Okay, this is a car registered to somebody that has a protection order against somebody that matches your description. Okay, he has one. For a woman matching your description. That's why I asked you what your name was.
I mean,
do you have ID? If you're not the woman, guess what? We let him go and see you later. What's your name? If you have ID on you, then I'll.
what did you pull us over for?
For that. For that. Yeah. Okay.
That's not me. I
This
don't
isn't
have,
you?
That's me.
He has a criminal bail order out against you. He can't be around you.
How?
What's that?
How?
Just stay over there. I don't want you to get hit. I don't care if you film, but you're going to stay right here, okay? I don't want you to get hit.
Can I see this order?
What?
Where is this order?
Take me out of the cuffs? Are you taking me out of the cuffs? Get me the out of the cuffs now. There is no protective party. She has no protective party on me.
There is none. What the?
Not to answer any questions. You get to illegally search and seize my property after I told you not to, camera. Go ahead. Hold on, what's it coming back as? For what? What? I mean, seriously, I haven't reached your mail right now.
For what?
Oh, that's fine. Oh, I didn't say no. Oh, take it out of my pocket then. You just told us. Take it out of my pocket. I am not consenting. I did not say you cannot. If you want to go in my pocket,
Okay.
legally, go ahead.
Greg, we'll have you have this.
Go ahead, step out of the car. I'm asking you to step out of the car.
It's on
No,
camera.
right here at the computer.
It's in my wallet's in the thing. I didn't know it's in my car. I told you that. I didn't.
Let me get you set up.
Run the plate. Do your job, bro.
Is that your car?
I'm not going to answer those questions. I did not say you. I did not say I'm not identified.
Where is?
The defendant's name. Is that Mark?
Protected party is.
No,
I do
this is
have a
her.
license.
So this is her. That's him.
Where is the
He has a
order?
criminal bail order against. He's not allowed to be
It
around
was
you.
dropped. Everything
It's still
was
showing in the
dropped.
system. We have to figure that out. I'm just trying to ask questions to figure it
Everything
out.
was dropped, sir.
Okay,
Like,
this
I'm
could've been-
pregnant. Like, are you serious? Like, I'm literally like due
Okay.
any day now.
but you have to understand. If it shows up in the system and I come up and ask a question, all you guys had to do is ID yourselves and say, "Oh wait,
There you
no,
go.
that was dropped. Here, can you call
Create
it?"
your own password there and then answer a couple
Well, then
mean,
no.
couple
If you
security
guys want to
questions.
play this game, record, do all this stuff, that's fine. If you want to play that
It's-
game, that's fine.
It's not a game. It's for our protection.
We have cameras
Am I
on
gonna?
too.
Am I gonna get my thing back?
Covered.
My
Are you
ID?
requesting the order be faxed in? Yeah, affirmative. What do the stipulations on that order say on the
They're
screen?
claiming it's
You're
dropped,
claiming it's
but you still
dropped,
have it
but
in
you
front
still
of
have it in front of you. Well, it comes up with a bright red tab with a lot of noise, and it says non-expiring. It was served in January.
It was dropped at the
Okay,
last
it's
court
still in
date.
the
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all he had to do, or all you had to do was say, "Oh no, that was dropped. Could you double check on?"
I can give you my ID
Okay,
and you
go
can
ahead.
double check.
Go ahead, step out of
Is
the
that
car.
what you're pulling me
I'm
over
asking you to step out of the car
I mean, what?
Okay.
What do you? What is he being arrested on?
because if he's not allowed to be around you,
We live
Quick
together.
update.
Like we've lived literally like
guess what?
together.
If
Like
the criminal, if the courts put a criminal bail
Got to
order,
be uppercase, lowercase number,
that's
and a
how it
symbol.
goes, okay? Do you
At
understand?
least 8 digits.
I guess.
Kind of like the example on
then
the
just-
wall
just
here,
hang
where it
out.
says
We're gonna get
temp
it
1, 2,
faxed
3,
to us
exclamation
and
point.
see if it's still valid.
You have
If it's-
fax machines.
Yep.
All right. Can I have my license back?
Yep.
Are you?
Just 1 second, okay? Just confirm that you have on that protection order.
You're gonna need my
Why that?
because there's another stated New Hampshire. Same everything. Name, birthday, everything.
Okay. All right. So he's the defendant. His date of birth description backs up. You're the plaintiff in the criminal bail protective order, okay?
I guess.
So he's in direct violation of breach of bail. When I run the plate, it pops up, okay? Whether you said it got dropped or not, I don't know what to tell you, okay? It is what it is. We're going to get the hard copy faxed to us. If it was showed that it was amended, that's fine. You realize that all of this could have been avoided if you or him just said, hey, yeah, that was dropped. You have a criminal bail order against a female with matching her description, so step out of the car.
I do not.
You do. He has a criminal bail order against, he's not allowed to be around you.
It was dropped. It was dropped. It was dropped.
Okay? Do you understand what I'm going with? All the
guess.
yelling.
Here, let's just use temp for now.
We're trying to
I
figure
was
it out.
yelling and screaming. I was like, what the f is going on? I'm pregnant, dude.
Right,
Like,
but when I asked you, I said, ma'am, what's your name? And then he started with the, you know, you don't have to answer that, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, I legally don't. That's my
You
right.
legally do.
No,
Okay, when
I'm
I'm
the
investigating
passenger.
a crime.
But I'm the passenger
When
in
I'm
the vehicle.
There you go.
investigating a
What are you
crime.
investigating me?
Your first name down, last name.
Yes.
I-
Okay, you can drive the car. We're done with you.
I'm hanging out. He just told me to hang out. So where is your?
Okay, and then it's, I'll show it to you.
Identify himself as the driver of the vehicle.
It is in the wall there.
He's under arrest for disobeying an officer. So you're all set. You can leave.
Where
Don't leave. I'm gonna tell your spot.
where do I go?
We're gonna
To,
take him to PD. But if the order comes back saying that you're not allowed to be together, you can't pick him up.
can I hang out at least until you get
Sure,
the
you can go
order
down to
back?
the PD.
Yeah,
That's
we're
fine.
going to the PD now.
Yeah, we're gonna
Can
go to
I
PD.
follow you
Yeah,
then?
that's
I have
fine.
no idea where I am.
Yeah. You're gonna take the next exit and then go down.
I'm just
take a
gonna
left.
follow you because I have no idea where I am.
339.
Hey, so
Can you, I have a radio that criminal bail order is valid in the computer.
I'm going to make the repository call. From what I can see, it is active.
Yeah.
You click next there. We don't need to do this. I'll do it for you. Skip this. Just update this info and get us an email and a contact phone number. Okay, we do need a phone number and an email though.
We're gonna have 17. If you can get Brenda started so we can speed this up.
Get a bail condition, which you can. Please call that out.
we already did for you, okay?
I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. That bail condition order is invalid. It's invalid.
We're back to the PD.
Still recording?
What's that?
You still recording?
I am. Yep.
Am I under arrest for?
Disobeying.
I'm just getting off the Anchor Street exit.
I said I do not consent to any search and seizure.
Okay. I heard you.
Never said I wasn't going to identify myself, but all of us in my vehicle.
Okay.
Here you go. Check the boxes in the categories that you have experience in, not just for this position, but for any. And then under availability, what your general availability is.
Now I'm under arrest, right, for it? That's funny. Disobeying an officer is invalid.
Okay.
Along with the motor bail condition order.
Okay.
Did you get my phone? Did she get my phone?
I have your phone and your wallet. And she gave me a debit card for you for bail because you don't have enough cash on you.
Where's the bail condition state that it's out of?
I
Sullivan County?
haven't looked at it yet.
I'm on.
I haven't looked at it yet.
There was one, but
Back in January, right?
yeah, but it's been annulled, man.
Okay.
Ever since.
Understand. It's still showing in the system. Okay.
You know how many interactions I've had with police officers with her in play, in actually walking before I went to the hearings
Okay.
with her? There's
All right.
never in Sullivan County, and there's never been an issue.
Okay. All right. If you would just answer
but
those
now-
questions.
But now you're stretching this into a
Nope.
something like I was.
No,
I was already
I'm
under arrest for a bail condition violation.
I'm not.
which is even
Nope.
valid.
I told you you were being detained at one time. Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
When we put you into handcuffs, you were when we were.
You have my plate number. You ID'd me because of probable cause you had supposedly, right?
Sorry, the radio's talking. What'd you say? I had probable cause to pull you over.
Okay.
You are required to ID yourself as the operator of a motor vehicle.
Yeah, of course. I totally understand.
Okay,
no problem
and you wouldn't tell me your name. You refused.
No, that's
Okay, all right.
I can give you my ID and you can double check.
Go ahead, step out of
Is
the
that
car.
what you're pulling
I'm
over
asking
for?
you to step out of the car.
That's not true.
Okay.
I just said I didn't consent to any search and seizures. That's all.
Okay.
My wallet was not on my person. You asked me for my ID. It's in my car.
Okay.
Never disputed that I wouldn't give you my ID. I asked you what I was being retained for.
Yeah, I tried to explain it to you, but you
Second.
kept talking. You wouldn't listen.
Sorry, I'm answering. She's.
Okay,
You guys are
but
both
you
good to
wouldn't,
come back.
You wouldn't listen. If you had
I'm
just
just
said, no,
answering
hey,
Carrie.
man, can you check on that, please?
Criminal bail
Yeah,
order against.
yeah. We'll just have to do an I-9 on you then, because you just did you a few
It
months
was
ago.
dropped.
I was trying to get dispatched to
Yeah,
call.
answer the first question.
Right, correct. Because you.
Within the
because
last
you
7
immediately
years.
No, you did not.
No, answer the first question.
I should have to ask you one time. That's it. Well, come on, man. I don't know what to tell you. You know what? You made it. You made the trouble for yourself. So.
You won't. No, I've got just that same thing I have already. So now, did you want to do the same pay too? I don't know. What did you have?
Are you going to still get into the bottom, literally to the bottom of the bail condition? Because
Correct. Yes, I am.
literally, you need to call the prosecutor or the state.
I have the
state police.
Are you just let me talk, okay? I'm
sorry?
going. I have the bail order coming to
No,
the
that's
PD.
just no. As far as pay,
On the side of the road, I tried.
how did you want your direct
Listen
deposit?
to me, okay, Mark.
Monroe
I
Community Credit
tried
Union. Okay.
getting dispatched.
So that's all.
to read the
We just have to do the
order,
I-9 then.
Get a copy of it. Look,
Can you, I have a radio with that.
All right. Sorry, Greg.
From what I can
You're both
see,
Greg.
it is
That's why you both keep answering.
hold on.
I'm sorry.
When I walk up to the
I just realized it. I'm like, wait a minute. You both keep answering every time I ask a question.
Guess what? If you guess what? What's that?
Let me see what
Okay,
you're looking
cool.
at, Mr.
Okay,
Burling.
that's not why you're getting
Yeah,
pulled
that's
over.
good.
You're getting pulled over because of the
Well,
the
we
bail
gotta
order
answer
on your
it.
license plate when I ran it.
It was.
What's that? I didn't know who you were, but I had probable cause. Right. So it has nothing to do with a middle finger or anything like that. I bet you he didn't even see that. So I'm still hot over here.
Call the state police, man. Prosecutor,
We're going to get you bailed out in court today. We don't want you any longer than you want to be here. This is Officer Patton back here. Officer Patton, because you're not as mad at him, is going to do your booking with bail.
Just say yes. It's who owns us.
County, state police.
Okay. So we got the order returned from the repository.
It's been amended.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what I'm trying to explain to you is that's going to stay in the system until somebody decides to take it out at the state level.
We know, and
Okay.
we were waiting until after the baby was born, and there's a court date after the baby's born.
Okay, and that's fine. So what I'm trying to explain to you, if you were to get stopped again, because there's enough probable cause there, when you run his license plate, his descriptive match and your descriptive match.
Okay.
Okay, do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So if I walk up and ask for you guys to identify yourselves
Right.
and figure it out, and then you go, hey, that order's been vacated, whatever, okay? Guess what? I get that.
It's okay,
You
NC.
sit on the side of the road, I make sure that it's
Get
good
it.
to go.
Believe me, I
You
get
just
it.
go on your way.
Is there
Yeah,
any?
continue.
Him refusing to identify himself, telling you that you don't have to identify yourself, things like that, that's where it becomes a mess. Do you understand that? If
We
you
continue.
said, hey, I'm me, and you went, yeah, I'm me, that order's been vacated. I
Wait a
get
second.
that. Okay, see you later, bye. Him telling me I don't have to identify myself to you, I don't have to answer questions. Well, he does because he's subject to a criminal investigation as well as driving.
Oh, okay.
So him failing to
Wait,
identify
that wasn't.
himself
You need this one down at the very bottom.
for disobeying an officer. Right? He's not getting charged
That's okay.
or breach of bail for the criminal bail or I just want to explain that to you so that way if you guys run into somebody else.
Let me see.
Could you please provide us with a copy of whatever it is
Yes.
you have so that we can stick it in the?
All right, there you go.
I'll have to see if I can give that to you. Okay. I think you have to technically get it from the court.
April of
Because you guys should have both
2017. I don't know.
received a copy of the amended
We'll just make it funny.
We moved.
I understand. So when I get them from
Like April Fool's Day
I'm not sure that I'm going to give you that copy. Does that make sense?
of last year,
Okay. That's where I'm not
24th,
So what is he being
2022?
now, disobeying an officer?
disobeying.
Is
Michigan.
he going to jail?
Nope. Well, as long as he cooperates with the bail process, yeah.
Wait.
He'll come out here, $40, see you later.
How long will this take?
For the bail commissioners in?
No.
Probably 45 minutes, that's on your own.
I know, I already used it.
Okay. Sounds good.
What is going on? No answer.
Can I leave my phone number?
Oh,
I'm gonna go
sorry.
outside.
The first date's messed up too, isn't it?
Okay. No, I don't know this area.
Why? I'm typing that stuff, but it's.
All right.
There we go. There we go. Oh wait. There we go. Finally. Well, I'm not either, man. I just automatically signs it. So
Just let you know I got a body cam on.
What's the breach of bail?
Too.
Breach of bail, because you're out on bail.
Okay. So what's the breach of bail? I don't understand.
Bail condition by violating your good behavior for disorderly conduct.
What's disorderly?
What's that?
What's disorderly?
Obstructing the government administration. How's that? Because you're having people purposely flood our phone line.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
Just gonna let you know I'm gonna double up so they don't tighten up on you. Okay.
So you shut my camera off?
all right, we're not done on the computer yet, though. I just got to load some forms for you now. But actually, I'm gonna have him do his force. I'm gonna have you work on some paperwork while he's doing that, and we'll switch you back over. That's all he has to do.
I'm gonna take this radio too.
You should call him Officer Chief Connors over in Charlestown. And Judge gets into how to play him on. Okay.
All right. This radio can't be on in the booking room as well. Okay.
Yep.
Do you remember your login that you created?
Okay.
This guy's a really now.
I'm just gonna reset it. It's gonna be easier. It's easier. The password's gonna change, but you can change it back to whatever you want. So when I reset it. Make sure I'm spelling everything right.
You might want to call the prosecutor on this and the loop out.
Yes, there is. Back corner over there.
Scared of you. Come back here. They can have them call you. They have a right to redress the government. They have a right to comment.
Just have a seat for me on the bench here, okay? Cam.
Okay. Let's get the show on the road.
That's nuts. I want to see the two breathing.
Video with you.
Oh, you recording? No, get that out of my face.
Tough guy with a camera.
You're not here to enforce policy. You're here to enforce the law and protect our constitutional rights.
In this location, it's sensitive. Obviously, there's people's private information.
Okay.
And
So
you can't record.
click on employee login.
You cannot record inside.
I could take this into a court of law and hold you and your officers accountable for violating my constitutional rights. Big walk of shame here. Arresting me and violating my constitutional rights has nothing
First name, dot last
people's
name.
privacy and everything to do with the corrupt, tyrannical Nassau County government
It doesn't matter
protecting
what you
itself from transparency and accountability.
Full first name.
Hey, what's up, guys? Long Island Audit here.
All right, hey,
video.
let me get you on
Today's video, we the people are returning to the Nassau County Department of Social Services, where I was unlawfully arrested, locked in a jail cell for several hours.
No, it's well, the temporary is with that with the capital T, lowercase temp,
criminal trespass
1, 2, 3
which
exclamation
carries
point.
a maximum sentence of 90 days of incarceration, all for peacefully exercising my First Amendment.
No, once you just
As
create
of
your own
recording of
password.
this video, the Nassau County Police Department has yet to release the body camera footage of my unlawful arrest, and my camera footage is currently sitting in an evidence lockup. But rest assured, as soon as I receive all the relevant video evidence, I will be sharing it with each and every one of you. So stay tuned to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. The video we are all about to watch shows me yet again peacefully exercising my First Amendment right of freedom of press and to record in the publicly accessible areas of the Department of Social Services. I wonder why this time around my constitutional rights weren't violated and I was able to gather all the information that I needed for my story. Make sure to stick around to the end of this video for the answer to that question and for further analysis. You won't want to miss it. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Hey, Captain, how are you? I'm doing well. Can I speak to David Carl, the attorney here?
David Carl. Okay.
I have some documents that I just wanted to give to him. Appreciate that.
What are you,
Kenneth Keller, how are you, officer?
nothing, man.
What's going on?
All right, click on e-documents.
Doing all right. Sitting in jail is not a good time. It's not a good time having your rights violated.
Click on that
Not a
green
good
button
time
there,
at all.
or the input, either one. It's just
So,
one.
yeah, do you know where David
don't have to
Carl
go
is?
through them all. Just click on it.
So where he is?
Yeah, can you get him for me?
Where's the legal department?
I know. He's the attorney.
Yeah, I can see if he's
Yeah, I just have some legal documents I need to hand to him.
all right. Hang out. All right.
Sure, yeah, no problem. Hey, how are you? Mind if I just get your name and badge number?
Officer Marone, 405.
Thanks, Officer Morone. Appreciate it.
You can just put NA where it says other names.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. No problem. How'd you get this gig, Keller? How'd you get this one? You just put in for it? Or they just told you to be here? This is your normal post, right? There's a lot of violence here.
All due respect, man, I'm not going to answer any questions.
Are you invoking your right to remain silent, Officer Keller?
I'm going to invoke my right to remain silent. Busy man.
You're busy today? Oh, I am very busy. That's correct. Exposing tyranny and corruption throughout the whole entire country. Wait till you hear what I found out about the police commissioner. He's trying to make his way out right now. But before he gets out, we're going to expose him.
Okay. You have MH there.
Commissioner Ryder. Lot to expose there, for sure.
I think that's a Canadian province. I don't even know what MH is.
I have a
Maybe
man on the
Manitoba
inside,
or something else.
one of them who wants to come forward and start saying everything that's happening inside the department. So, that's what I'm saying. You scratch at the surface and then you start finding things that, don't make sense. That's why this job's important to me. That's why it's worth, sometimes you have to
Impact
get
employment
arrested in
once
order
we can
to
have to
affect
help you.
change. And this would have never happened. I would never be able to expose the corruption that I'm going to. So all thanks to Officer Keller here.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
thanks to
Just
Officer
give me a shout
Kenneth
when you're on the way. When
Keller.
you leave there. Yep. Bye.
So you're not even going to answer on why somebody else wrote the arrest report and you didn't write it yourself? Is that standard procedure? You remember I was sitting in the cell for 6 hours. You came at like the last minute and just took my picture and then, read the report somebody else wrote and then signed off on it. You don't remember that? Really? That didn't happen? Oh, be careful. There's cameras in there. Yeah, be careful. Just thought it was interesting. Somebody else wrote your arrest report for you, And I know you don't have to speak and you're going to remain silent. I'm just going to exercise my First Amendment right of freedom of speech. That's all. Great. Hi, ma'am. I just had a general question. So just applying for services, you'd have to take, I want to confirm, public safety already told me, but I just want to confirm with somebody who actually works here for the Department of Social Services. I want to confirm. I'm a journalist. I'm working on a story, so I need to have the facts correct. So the applications are all over there on the wall. and you submit them, and I cannot submit them the same day here. What if it was he said that basically, well, no, that's what I'm saying. No, but I'm saying he said that to fill out the applications and then to go and put it in the bin. And what if there's no exception? For example, like there's no exceptions for like an emergency
You're good.
application.
Log out.
Somebody needed emergency
Pending review just
housing
means I just have to do
or
my
heat
portion of it.
or something like that.
All right. Now, any other thing? I think you're good. Yep. So you said tomorrow.
Or heat. Is heat an emergency?
Second shift?
Gas. Okay, so it would be
You want it first shift.
if you have a
Yours
disconnection
second.
notice for heat, electricity, and then
You
if
want
you're
it second
homeless,
shift.
you would be able to have services here the same day.
So
okay, thank you, ma'am.
9/19.
And you mind if I get your name? I know who I spoke to.
2023.
Just because you're a public servant and I wanted to know who I spoke to.
All right. You're good.
You don't?
Yep.
Do you mind if I speak to your
Yep.
supervisor?
Just
Your supervisor's on her break? Sure, I'll wait.
well, I mean, I can give you
No problem. Thank you, ma'am.
another copy of the handbook if you want that.
No, I don't think I need that. It's
Hi,
just
how are you, ma'am?
having
I just have
Right.
a-
I
I
understand.
don't know.
Sorry.
Can
You
I
want me?
know
If you want me to, I can
what
text you
department
just
you work
the whole thing. I can just give you a copy of the
Your
handbook.
name is what? Sweetie? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Oh, good.
I just have
Get
this
you need
FOIL
back.
request here that I wanted to submit. This, you guys are here, the Department of Social Services are the custodian of records. I tried to submit it at the Nassau County Government Building, and
Yeah, you
they said
too.
that I had to come here and submit it with you.
Okay.
If you're
We have the
listening
food
here.
safety stuff.
I'm asking for
Or the
you can see here, I have
electronic
the-
documents.
I
Which do
cited
you want to
the
do
law,
first?
the Article 6.
All right, we'll do
FOIL law
those.
here in New
Let me
York
get you
State.
pulled up, get those loaded for
My
you.
contact information down here, and then these are the documents I'm requesting, the records I'm requesting, some emails, some memorandums, some policies. It's all right here, and then this is how you can get a hold of me to comply with the request, email, and everything else. Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So how would I go about applying? Nope. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. How would I go about applying for services if I needed to apply for services here?
You would get an application.
Applications are all over here in the beginning.
Yes, all applications are here.
Okay.
In the bookshelf.
Okay, because that, when I was arrested, unfortunately, by Officer Kenneth Keller here, I was trying to apply for services. I tried to explain that to him, and he didn't want to listen to me. So I want to go about doing that now.
So you would fill the application out.
Yeah.
Since after COVID, they don't see anybody. They have to finish filling the application out. We'll drop it off into this great bin right here. Once it's selected, then you would get assigned a worker for you, see if you missed anything. But from you, I know you're a Suffolk County resident.
Yeah.
They're gonna deny you that Suffolk County.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to see the process. That's the thing. I wanted to go. I wanted to go through the process like anybody else would, just because, like I told you many times, I was working on a story here. A lot of people have been treated badly here, and that was my purpose here last time. And also I wanted to submit this FOIL request like I just did. So that's the process.
Yes.
Okay.
So application, you fill it out.
And if I just had a general question, I can go back here, right? If I have a general question.
Yep.
Sure.
It's mostly rules and stuff, and I'll give you a written copy of those.
Okay, great. Sure. So I just put my things here. Watch. Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you just check the box on the top and bottom, and then click
Ridiculous.
next.
This is the whole point I'm trying to prove to everybody, is that it makes no sense to prohibit news gathering and asking questions of our government here. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I do. You've seen? Yeah. I did come in here with a camera. The camera of mass destruction. My name is Sean. Long Island Audit. Long Island Audit. Yeah. You're welcome. There shouldn't be a problem with cameras in a government building, should there? Government transparency and accountability is what we want, right? The only person, what's so funny? They say that they don't want me bringing in the cameras to protect everyone's privacy here, but the only people who've only given me a problem with bringing cameras here are the government. Yeah. Every other person. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Thank you. Yep. Thank you. God bless you. I will. I promise. Thank you. That means a lot. That means a lot to me. Thank you, Lisa. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Thank you. So we just ran into Lisa. That people like me are necessary. We the people, I'm not special. We are all together. Lisa is necessary. Each and every one of you watching this video is necessary. Only together can we create change and affect change in our government. The only way. Hi, ma'am. So my only question left I have here is policies and procedures for the general public here. I'm just talking to you right now. Does it look like I'm recording you, ma'am? Ma'am, I just need some help right now. So I see you have signs that you printed out on the walls here. No recording, no fighting. Where can I get a copy of the policy that was written by, let's say, the commissioner, or where's the policies and procedures? Yeah, I'm just looking for a copy of the policies that you guys are enforcing for people's behavior here. For example, there has to be some sort of, it's more than just a sign you put up on the wall, right? There has to be some sort of memorandum where it says these are the policies and procedures of remaining and conducting business or being your behavior here in the Department of Social Services. So I'm just asking, where's that procedures at?
I'll get back to you.
Okay? All right.
I'll get back to you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you could probably tell, this video was not recorded using the camera equipment that I normally use. I chose not to record overtly during this visit to the Department of Social Services, and there's a good reason for it. The Nassau County government has made their stance on my unlawful arrest and malicious prosecution crystal clear. There is absolutely no recording inside the Department of Social Services in order to protect people's privacy in public, and that I had no legitimate business to conduct. This video is proof that the Nassau County government's no recording policy is unreasonable and ineffective. Not to mention,
I do the bottom there, so you're good.
I was able to peacefully exercise my First Amendment right of freedom of press
Yeah.
without issue.
Apparently.
Not to mention, I recorded throughout all the publicly accessible
There you go.
areas of the facility. I was also able to submit my FOIL requests and ask important questions to our public servants at the Department of Social Services. Some of which
that's
wouldn't
form.
even properly identify themselves.
Yeah, you
let
click next.
alone
You have
treat us
3
with the
more to go.
respect
You have the
that we deserve. This
rules.
is all legitimate and constitutionally protected business that I was trying to conduct on my last visit to the Department of Social Services, but unfortunately I was arrested before I could. There is no doubt that this video will be seen by the Nassau County Police Department and the Nassau County District Attorney's Office. Will I be arrested again? No, of course not. Why? Because there is no law preventing we the people from exercising our constitutional rights, and there never will be as long as we stand together united. What the Nassau County government and governments across this country have done is weaponize the criminal trespass statute in order to violate our constitutional rights. Let's be very clear here. Arresting me was never about protecting people's privacy in public. In fact, multiple people
Kind of a gray area there. Now the thing is, so if it's believed that his intoxication,
what this is all
I handle it.
about is
If I believe the intoxication of the cannabis caused the accident, we'll do a blood draw.
Transparency and
Instead of a urine
accountability.
test, because urine test just tells you if they
Nassau
smoked
County
in the last 30
government,
days.
The more corruption I find.
So that's, you can't say, yeah, he was intoxicated on it unless you do a
The
blood draw.
corruption includes high-level public servants such as the police commissioner Patrick Ryder. Lastly, I am calling on Ann Donnelly, the Nassau County District Attorney, to use her discretion to decline to prosecute the charge against me. I am told from an inside source
So we have
that she is
insurance,
receiving
but
a lot of
that's
pressure
the reason why I don't hire for
by
that place too,
the
because it's not
Nassau
safe.
County Police Commissioner.
Our
This
insurance
should
company
not
won't let
stop
me
her from honoring
hire
her
for them
oath and
because
doing
it's
the
unsafe
right
over there.
thing. Truly appreciate each and every one of you. Your support means the
Yeah,
absolute world
that-
to me. This
we
is
did a
Paul
walkthrough
from
inspection
Over.
and
Stay tuned to the channel
trying to
for
get us prepared
updates.
for
Let me know
it.
what you think about this one in the comment section below. As
Check
always,
this, I gotta go
stay
through and they
safe.
just-
God bless. I'll see you in the next video. Long Island Audit. Peace.
I worked there since like May of last year through Sunday. Then I watched about 80 people come and go.
Oh, doesn't surprise me.
How you guys doing?
All right. What can I do for you?
Can you tell me more about this policy? It says no recording in the offices.
For privacy and sort of like with their files and everything that they're, confidential.
Fall under no privacy in public. Isn't that the way the First Amendment works? There's no expectation of privacy in public.
I don't know. You'd have to check with it upstairs.
Policy over here. I mean, I obviously they say
That was
preserve
before
privacy
me. I
in
don't
public.
know. I just came in April, so
Okay.
I can't speak to why they were put up.
How you doing? Pretty good. I actually was looking to see if I could speak to somebody about these signs that you guys got in all over the county about no recording.
What that really means is,
listen, y'all, these kids want to act up in school, want to go to school.
I'm sorry. You don't need that, and you're not new to that. How many do you just claim yourself? All right, from there. Yeah, that's the state one. You already did the federal one. Oh, did you? Oh no, I didn't even load it. Let me load it real quick. Yeah, 1 second. Impact employment norms speaking. Down here today in Madison County, New York, to perform a First Amendment audit. It is September 7th. Down here, and we're gonna go ahead and get inside here and make sure they respect our civil rights here in Madison County and do a little civil rights investigation and make sure they respect our First Amendment. All right. Well, if something else, if it changes, just give me a call. I had you on hold anyway because you didn't have boots. All right. Bye. We got a newer building connected to this older building down here. Got the Lady of Justice up there on top of the building. See what you're talking about, Chicken. The clock tower. All right, let me load this form for you real quick. Thought I had W4. Yeah, it's there. W4. Memorial out here. Hold it. Precious. Yeah. How we doing? Pretty good. Where we at? County clerk. There you go. So we got the county building director here. Definitely trying out a new. Yeah, then you don't do anything. Once you check you check how you file, then you just sign it in step 5 and go all the way to the bottom and click finish or submit. Yep.
Yeah.
Nope. Close it. All the way to the bottom. Click submit. There you go. There you go. Now you're done. Okay, you're good. Let's do this other part. You're good.
Most computers don't change the ball.
All right. Your handbook. You know what to do with this handbook overall. You decide if you're up to the copy. You got the 65 files of the drug administration. This page is
Oh man.
This is an acknowledgement that you received a copy of this and you're going to follow the rules of the employee. You do the bottom here. The rules, sanitation conditions, at the bottom, once it's training, Answers are in there, but you can't quite answer that. I'm gonna pause this one play.
At first I thought it was a really long t-shirt.
Oh.
Hey, what's up, man?
Yo, what's
So-
going on right here, man?
Yeah.
What's
Fill
happening?
out this resume. I just need dates when I started and when I finished,
Okay.
please.
Yeah.
Sorry for bothering.
No worries.
What is happening right now? Is this live right now?
I'll put apps in, but I just don't know.
Oh my god, what is happening?
Second.
Yep.
Well, okay. What is your last four?
1292. United States.
Yeah.
I've got a sign on here that says no recording in here. The public's not allowed to record, but you know that's not very accurate. So, anyway, the public is allowed.
Okay. I understand that they told me right from a phone call, I have specialty plates. I want to turn them in and you guys save them for when I put the vehicle back on the road. Is that how it works? Okay. I just wanted to make sure they get disposed of.
Yep.
They're seasonal vehicles. Like you need $1 for each, correct? Social Security.
We have Junior.
For work. So in other words, one of these registrations is from November. I just want to ignore it, right, until I'm ready to put it on the road? Is that what you do? Oh. Oh, okay, so I'm definitely good to yeah, some of your appointments are late. The front door is locked.
It just sticks. It does. It's. I don't think it was live. It just. Yeah, you can see if the bolt is there or not. If it's not, it's just this building's 150 years old. So, yeah. 1840 it was built. Actually, that's 180 years old. That's why this basement's so low. It's because people didn't used to be as tall as they are now. It used to be a full-size basement. Now everyone's like, "Oh, it's a Michigan basement." I'm like, "No, Michigan basement's even lower than this." So, good.
So I
Good luck, Dave.
Sign here that says no video recording inside the DMV recording policy, but they're not going to enforce it. Nobody said a word to me about it. A lot of historical stuff down here. Just like the old cell phone.
Morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Anything I can help you with?
No, I was just working on a story on Madison County, just grabbing some photographs of offices and what's available for the public.
Good.
Can I get your name?
Kathy with a K.
Nice to meet you, Kathy. My
Nice
name's
to meet you.
Dan.
Dan, nice to meet you. Are you from the area?
Yeah, I'm from New York here.
Good.
Baby Dashy phone.
They're in the break room. Yeah, so you have access to them.
Looks like they got some kind of construction going on here. Paper up on the walls. Public information over here. Some stickers down here and pens.
Hi.
How you guys doing?
All right. What can I do for you?
Nothing. I'm just working on a story on the Madison County to grab some photographs of the offices, what's available for the public. Can you tell me more about this policy? It says no recording in the offices.
Right. For privacy and sort of like with their files and
Animal
everything
feed
that
container.
they're,
Yep.
confidential. But no one's here right now. So
But even if there were, wouldn't that fall under no privacy in public? Isn't that
Oh no, that's probably flour.
No
It's with
expectation
the
of
dry
privacy in
dry
public.
flour comes in those bulk containers or sugar or one of the ingredients that you.
Yeah. Do you know who put all those signs up?
Yeah, they don't mill anything here.
each department did.
Did.
Right. Our director's not here yet. this
All
morning,
right, gotcha.
Yep.
All right, well, I'm just gonna grab some photographs in here of the publicly accessible areas.
Okay.
Impact employment. I'm speaking. How can I help you? We're a staffing company. Yes. Right now, out of this office in Monroe, it's just Spectrum Foods in Monroe. There's two shift times. There's 5 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. and then 3:30 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Got a flag hanging in the office.
You're welcome. Second, sir. What's your head? All right, you're good. When just let me know when you get your boots, and we'll get you started. Yep, she gave the approval already, so you're good to go. It's in second shift, right?
Can I get your name?
Pardon me?
Can I get your name?
Emailed her yet.
Leggett.
Nice to meet you. My name's Dan.
What is
Oh
it?
no, I didn't.
Dan. Nice to meet you.
You want me to? All right. I'll just I'm friends with her on Facebook. I'll just message her. Let her know you may be coming out that way. Let's see.
Morning.
Morning.
How'd it go?
Pretty good. I don't need any help. I'm just grabbing some photographs of publicly accessible area inside County Hall.
So no restrictions, really?
Because when I went, I hit the bell.
This one was publicly accessible?
Yeah,
Or is
I
it
mean,
more
it's
of a
just
employee-
those even minor things need to be reported though. Okay, that's fine. Well, that's just that you
Alright,
did it.
gotcha.
It's just no, except for the alcohol.
Says negative.
For the yeah. Okay.
Not much going on in there for the public.
Yeah, that's alcohol, and that's just that you did the drug test. They mail them out. They don't do it there. Yeah.
Back room area.
We're gonna have to do a little bit of paperwork too. So it's called first. If the state requires it, it's called first report of injury.
Pretty good.
Impact employment. Norm speaking. If I help you. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Clerk's office right over here. Doing some work over
An interview. I can just schedule you for an interview tomorrow if you want. 1 p.m. be good?
These no recording policy.
Would 1 p.m. be good for you? Yeah, if you just verify you're right. Okay. No, I get it. It takes the whole thing takes about an hour and a half at the most. So you know. Yep. Bye. We'll get to that stuff in a second. This second shift waiting for poops.
The camera's right there.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. Is the county clerk in?
And this stuff will
He's
quick.
not. He's out today.
He's out today?
Yes, he's actually out till Monday.
I gotcha. Can I get your position here?
I'm the deputy county
Deputy
clerk.
county
Yes,
clerk?
I'm Andrea.
I got a question about the signs, Andrea, that say no recording inside the offices here. Like on the door here, it says there's no recording inside this office.
Mm-hmm.
This is a policy.
It's on there, but I mean, certainly if you want to film something, you're more than welcome to.
Is there a reason they're up? I mean,
Honestly,
I obviously they say
that
because
was
they're
before
privacy.
me. I
and
don't
public.
know. I just came in April, so I can't speak to why they were put up.
Yeah,
But you're free to film.
Technically, those signs are unconstitutional.
Coordinate that with
The public's allowed, they're allowed to film because
Mhm.
everybody has freedom of press, just like we have freedom
Right.
of speech and that. So.
Yeah, and we can certainly bring that
We,
to the attention of the
scheduling
department
things
heads
like
to see
that.
what their thoughts are.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You're very welcome.
I have to come
My name's
to me,
Dan.
then go to
Very nice
that.
to meet you, Dan.
Everybody down here's pretty friendly. I see no signs down here saying we can't film the documents so far. Actually, we can see all these documents down here. I'm gonna take some photographs of them.
Okay.
Hi,
How you doing?
good.
I was taking some photographs down here. I don't need help.
What's that?
I'm just taking some photographs down here. I don't need
Oh,
help. I'm just
okay.
getting some- what's available down here. Halloween candy already. Question: you work for the county down here, or you?
I'm the historian for the county.
Oh, historian. All right, gotcha. Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of historical stuff in this building, huh? Like
Yeah, we try and highlight
posters
our
and
history. Yeah.
you must work overtime in this building.
Well, we work out throughout the county. We work with our tourism bureau and our school districts and stuff like that, getting local history.
There's just a lot of historical facts and stuff all over in here. I've been to a lot of county buildings. This one's got a lot of historical stuff. So
Yeah, we try and highlight our history. It's important to us.
you look like you're doing your job pretty good. Can I get your name?
My name's Matters.
Matters. Nice to meet you. My name is Dan.
Nice to meet
I'm
you.
actually just doing a story on the county down here, and pretty impressed with the historical layout of all the artifacts to facts around here and stuff like that.
Yeah, we work really hard to highlight our history and let people know our past and what we've strived to do. And again, it's part of our tourism and everything we do.
Gotcha. Are these roll here? Is this a private?
Those are all abstract.
Abstractors. They work for them.
They're private.
Private grantees. Do they rent the space here, or they?
I don't know that. You'd have to ask the clerk.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you very much.
Yep. Have a good day.
It's been a while since I've had an injury. You got to find the forms, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. I don't even know who I was sending these to. I'm going to have to re-ask that too. It's been months. Although sometimes once we get one, a floodgate opens up and we get a few of them in a row.
Yeah, 'cause you know how that Akron combo.
I don't even know how the workings go back there.
Oh, what?
Impact employment, Ron speaking. Okay, all right. Do you know where you're heading?
The private abstractors that work here, do they rent space here, or are they just they pay monthly or something like that?
Yes, that's where the office is. Now the place you work is not quite. It's the same company. It's not the same building. But yeah, it's close. All right.
Patient?
All right. We'll see you tomorrow at 1. Just make sure you have your ID and either a social or a
That was
birth.
the only question.
Oh, okay.
All right. See you tomorrow. Hi. Direct deposit.
We got some signs
You got your
that
info?
say no recording in
All
here.
right. Let's see it.
And they're not
I'll
trying
get
to
in for you.
enforce them whatsoever so far.
He's on his way in.
Very well educated down here. It's just a matter of these signs. I don't like them.
I don't know, but again,
Did you find
you know,
this?
that's gonna be their call as far as we're
Yeah.
concerned, you know what I mean?
So I'm just gonna give you the different accounts, like what building it is, and then when you go to divide it out, it will, okay. Because when you put in the field, it's gonna be like different accounts, instead of just one account, by itself.
Excuse me.
Good morning.
Facilities director, what exactly services do you do here, or you take care of down here in this office?
We take care of all the buildings and grounds throughout Madison County.
So it's like buildings and grounds.
Buildings and grounds and maintenance, construction, and pretty much everything.
Gotcha.
Take care of it all.
Like the county manager, kind of like a county manager's office, or more around buildings and grounds.
Nope, just buildings and grounds, yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh, one of them.
Buildings and grounds.
I just printed everything in the folder and I didn't need everything. You got it? Yep. That's what we need. What is this, Huntington? All right. We'll let you screenshot this. If it'll let you. If it won't, I'll just plug it in. But it's just I prefer to have a hard copy of it that way, in case I make a mistake. If it won't let you, don't worry about it. All right, let me just get you pulled up here. I don't know. What's the last four?
888.
Thank you.
How you doing? Pretty good. I actually was looking to see if I could speak to somebody about these signs that you guys got in all over the county about no recording.
This is a checking account? Yes, check. All right. 210, 224, routing. A bunch of them. This 24.
Public candies back there.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Pretty good. My name's Dan. I'm
Hi,
a
Mark
journalist
Simone.
working on a story on the county building.
Sure.
I see a lot of these signs over, say, recording policy in Madison County.
Yes.
They kind of violate the United States
We're all
Constitution.
set.
Yeah, so one of your other auditors came, Rich, from Mr. Nice Guy Activism. He actually worked with me on that sign to help improve it, because what that really means is
It's the same
you
thing.
can record anywhere around here.
Mm-hmm.
You have that right. But, through here.
Yeah,
like
it's
into my office
non-publicly
and stuff,
accessible
that's what
areas.
that means. It only means.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's enforced was in the DMV. It said the same thing in the DMV. I went into the DMV in the publicly accessible areas. Nobody's saying anything. The clerk's
Yeah, because you guys are filming, you have your right to film. So we don't have an issue with you guys.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's First Amendment auditor or a member of the public coming in. That's just more so people know to not come through a door
Yeah, I mean,
and record.
publicly accessible, non-publicly accessible areas, obviously,
Yeah.
you can't get there. But,
Right.
even though,
Do that. I don't know what the hell this is supposed to be for.
Yeah, you can do
For us,
that.
for a different-
Yeah.
No, I was just
One of our
wondering about
subsidiaries,
Yeah,
we don't
so
do this.
it-
All right.
Initially, and it's just a policy, initially it was a little bit more restrictive, and like I said, I worked with Rich. Rich from Mr. Nice Guy Activism.
Mr.
He's
Nice
been
Guy.
here a couple times. He's a fellow First
Local?
Amendment auditor. Yeah, he's been around. He actually gets pretty much all around upstate New York. And I sent him the revised sign, and he looked at it and he thought it was good, because the intent is more about, like, anywhere it's public, that's why probably nobody's stopping you here, because they know. Like, we've tried to train our employees to make sure they understand that you and any member of the public has the right to record. But some people in your position might not know that you shouldn't go past
Well, yeah,
barriers.
not-
And so it's
not
kind of,
publicly
so
accessible
it's,
areas
yeah,
usually,
so it's less for, people
Well,
that
this
know the
happened
law
what,
like
you said Friday?
and more for somebody who
Thursday.
may not know the
That's the
law, that
year.
thinks that they can come, like,
So
walk
this is the
through an
18th,
office and,
that was the
go
14th.
into the county attorney's office and start recording. Like, that's not appropriate.
I'm sure
obviously.
this door's locked. You probably
Yeah, but there's areas that, there aren't barriers where you could pass through.
Yeah,
that-
but like even the signs on the doorway to the entranceway of the clerk's office, it's
Yeah.
all publicly accessible except for how.
Yeah, and that is all- and that is- yeah,
I don't
that-
really see how that sign would stop somebody from going behind a counter.
It's just more for information. And as you can see by coming, going through this building, has anybody stopped you from
No,
recording?
nobody said.
Yeah, that's because we all
I
know.
asked the deputy clerk down there, and she said that I'm free to film and that.
Yeah. I think, like I said, it's just more for people that may not know, and our employees. I
Yeah.
take a lot of pride in making sure that our employees are trained to know you have the right to record in this building.
Do you think all those signs are necessary?
Maybe not for you because you know the law, but an average person that might not
See,
know.
that's my real problem is the people who don't necessarily. I'm obviously an activist.
Yeah.
And I do this for a living, but like someone who doesn't know the law might read that and think that they can't altogether.
Yeah, I
You know what I'm
mean,
saying?
it says
your opinion is that
It's
so
a-
that
it-
people
well,
are
if you-
uneducated. People are uneducated. That,
Well, if you read the sign, it says, are not able to take photographs in any private Madison County office without prior authorization. So this is not a private office. The hallway is not a private office. And that's where Rich kind of helped with language, because initially it didn't say that. It just said, can't record. And he's like, you can't say that. It's got to be, come on in, Jeff. You have to be more clear on what you mean and what the intent of the policy is. So the
I mean,
intent
that's
of the
definitely better
policy
than
is
some of them.
private.
I've seen,
Yeah, and
I've been hand thrown out of buildings.
Oh, we're not going to
Exactly
throw it
what
out
we're
here. Yeah, but that's why. So we clarified it and we said private.
So
So
is
obviously when you're down at the
we have on
DMV,
file
where
the
the
same
clerk's offices
still,
are all
the
public offices,
3932?
you have the right to record there. In my office, you would not have the right, unless I invite you in. Like, you can come to my office and we can sit down and have a conversation. You
Can we
record
go
me
to
in
your
there.
office and take a
Yeah,
look?
sure, come on in.
I love transparency in the government.
Sure, come on in.
All right, Erie County fam, let's talk about this sign. I'm going to have to admit that when I first came in the county, up until this point, when I talked to the county administrator, I never actually read the sign to the end. And I'm going to admit, I kind of like this sign. It actually does highlight your actual rights where you can and cannot film in publicly accessible areas, is pretty much where it says you
File
are
single.
permitted to do so in publicly accessible
Tax-wise.
areas.
Right.
So wherever
Married.
the public is allowed, that is where the press is allowed, because the press and the public have the same rights. So the sign, to me, it's on point. And I'd like to know what you guys think. So please leave a comment in the comment section what you think about this sign here in Madison County. In my opinion, I believe Madison County is looking out for the public and their constitutional rights. This building is quite a pass, if you ask me.
Actually, I'll take you on a little tour. This is county attorney's office is over there. This is the board clerk, deputy clerk.
At one time was that double door, locked door, was that not there at one point?
This,
Yeah. Like,
Did you have to leave work because of that? Or?
Yeah, we used to just have like a little side thing. And when one day I was in my office, and some member of the public walked right past my office.
I don't know how the public's supposed to get all this public candy. You know?
Feel free to have some. Yeah, but remember the public walked in.
Like I said, the only issue that I have, I know it seems like it's
looking
not a big deal or anything like that.
And
but
so
just when it happens.
prior to, after that,
Now
we kind of
it's important.
secured a lot of the areas because we have so much.
Right. Well, yeah, and I understand that, and that's why I didn't have in the future, even if you don't think, I mean, just like
He was looking for him, and
car
then when he
accident,
wasn't
they
there,
always
because
tell you, you know, hey, you probably not gonna feel anything now,
in,
but you know, if
and
you
then
start to
walked
it
out.
the next day or so, please let us know.
Yeah,
Same
my
thing.
office is a little dirty right now, but
Yeah, because I didn't know he moved the palace when I
Yeah.
first.
that nice view.
That's how it happens.
Just an old jar of marbles.
Yeah, so I don't
No
lose my
worries.
marbles.
You don't lose them in
I'm
there.
not saying you're at fault for anything.
That's
It's just
funny.
saying
I
that
went to an antique shop once and I
just
walked
our
out
insurance
with a
company flexes.
mason jar like that full of old clothespins.
They're the ones that's gonna pay for insurance evaluation.
How can I buy this? What am I
We have
gonna do
workers'
with
comp
this? It
insurance.
just looked neat on the shelf.
Yeah,
That's
my
crazy.
our board clerk gave that to me around for Christmas
So you don't
present.
lose your marbles.
Yeah, because it's busy around here. It gets a little crazy. But yeah, no, I totally respect the work that you guys are doing, and I think it's great. And I think it's good for the public to be
Love
able
this
to
question.
see
Did employee die?
what's going on in our buildings because we want that. We are very transparent here.
Yeah, I
so.
can appreciate that.
I can't imagine having to fill out that form though.
Yeah.
Someone like me shows up, and next thing you know, all the levels are restricted. Everything's restricted, and it's like, what? Why?
Yeah.
You know, like, what do you guys got to hide? And it seems like they would
Well,
need
I
an
think-
investigation.
I
I
think
enjoy
if
some of
you
those.
if you look at it too, local government has so much more access. You try to do this in a federal building or in a state building, it's going to be a whole different ballgame. We're close to the people. Anybody can set an appointment and meet with me as administrator.
Your day shift,
I
right?
take phone
5 a.m. you
calls.
start?
We have that level. We're front line, right? Us, the towns, the villages.
What
we're
time did it happen
accessible.
on
You get
Thursday?
into the state, you get into the federal government. Try to go meet with Governor Hochul and come into her office and record.
No, I get
It's
it.
not going to happen.
It's just
But
a
that's
blank
what
I
we
gotta
pride
fill.
ourselves on. That's why we like to work with our
And what were
residents
you doing,
and
Stacking
provide
Palace?
services. That's what we do.
Cool. The county chambers are meeting room. Where is
Yeah,
that?
why don't you here? Take you through there.
That's exactly what I like to
Here, let's go this way.
see that.
Large conferences. But yeah, the thing with the sign is, it's really just for private offices. We just don't want people to report private offices unless we're invited.
Right. And I can respect that.
This is
wow,
original 1969. This is original to the building.
This desk?
Yeah.
Custom
This-
made just for this room, huh?
Just for this room, yeah. The only updates, we've done some technology updates in the room. We've done some carpeting, but the room itself is original. We expanded it a few years ago.
It's a pretty sweet carpet right there.
Yeah, the seal is nice. That's actually, I've been here at the county for 18 years. That even predates me.
Yeah.
But we expanded the chambers a few years ago.
A lot of people show up to meetings or not really?
We don't get a ton.
How many? What is the population of the county down here?
68,000.
68,000.
Yep. Yeah, but we get a lot of the department heads and stuff from me. During budget time, we'll get some
What
members of
ankle?
the public that will come in and ask questions about the budget. But generally speaking, we don't get a lot of activity up here.
Nice.
So it's funny, and actually it's trying to pull that up.
Yeah.
Now, is this room generally just open to the public? If somebody, if like you weren't here and I walked up
You
here,
can
this.
just walk right in, yeah. And when people come in here, they're always kind of loud because it is really an impressive room. A lot of the chambers they have, in other counties are more the seats that kind of all face forward, like the classroom type.
Yeah, I've been in quite a few county chambers.
So
This
we
one's
have
pretty nice.
we have 15 town supervisors and 4 representatives from the city of Oneida, so 19 board members total.
What's the biggest town or city in?
Town of Sullivan's the biggest town, and
Is it all towns or is there city?
we have one city, city of Oneida.
Oneida, all right.
Where are you from?
I'm from Western New York, Erie County.
Okay. Have you been out? Have you been in their facilities?
I've been to every county in the Western District of New York. Believe it or not, the Erie County, like chambers, is one of the only ones I haven't been able to get into.
Oh, really?
Because they don't appreciate what I do. They don't like transparency in government.
I think what you see maybe with the smaller counties, it's maybe not as big of an issue. I think that, the bigger counties, getting into like Onondaga County and Nevada County, I think might be a little bit more difficult. Their buildings are a lot more locked down.
So how does the board here work in Madison County? There is chairman, because every county works a little bit different.
Yeah, this is a board of supervisors form of government. So we have a chairman of the board, 15 town supervisors, 4 city supervisors. Those are the 4 city supervisors here. Wards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So from Mary to Brandy, 4 Oneida supervisors. Then you have the town supervisors. And it's interesting form of government because like in Erie County, it's a legislature. The town supervisors actually oversee their town. They wear a dual hat. So they are a town supervisor, and then they're elected to be here as a representative for their town for the Madison County government. So it's different. I think there's about 20 boards of supervisors out of the 62 counties. Most of the counties are like an executive form with a legislature.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of counties that have an administrative form. So I'm an administrator. I oversee the day-to-day operation of the county, working closely with the department heads to make sure that the policy that the board sets is implemented. I don't implement policy. I just make sure that whatever they adopt and whatever
You had your
their
best week
charge
the
is, I
week
make
before
sure
this
it's carried
happened.
out throughout the county. That's my job.
Are you an appointed position?
Appointed for your term.
For your term appointed.
I haven't gotten hours
And
for
then,
last week yet.
As far as like, I see like the center seat. I would assume this guy is the.
Chairman Becker. He's my boss. I report to him on a day-to-day basis. I mean, the board oversees me.
Is he the chairman?
He's the chairman.
So that office with the couch is.
Yeah,
this
that's
guy's
the chairman of Becker's office. Yep. And he's been chairman now for 16 years. He's like the second longest serving chairman in the history of the county.
Mhm. I have a seat over here.
He'd love to chat with you.
He's not here today, or?
No, he's not.
He's probably taking care of his town.
He's probably the town. He comes in. He's here.
So get your view down here from the chairman's seat. And as far as transparency and everything down here in Madison County, I'm liking what I see. Pretty well done here down in Madison County. What is it?
That's what he calls the mean to order.
I seen somebody in a town board meeting. Somebody sent me a video. The guy was smacking the gavel so hard it blew apart.
Provide any feedback to anybody. Emails are not responded to, let alone timely. It is critical and crucial to provide relevant information to ensure transparency. This allows for people to contribute based on.
We're not here talking about emails. I'm cutting you right there. You're done.
Excuse me.
You're done.
I'm not done speaking, sir.
You're done. We're not here talking about emails. So, okay.
And I will finish. So this will allow for people to contribute based off of the facts that are provided. Documents to be discussed are to be provided for a public hearing. People here tonight have requested these documents. They should have been provided prior to the meeting. And at the very
All documents have been provided. You are done now. Damn made in China thing. Okay. We're moving.
Rub somebody in the middle of their. That one looks like it's got a little age on it.
This has got some age on it. You can see there's been times I think somebody must have whacked it at some point pretty good because it's broken in a few places.
Got a little heated in the.
Yeah, way
chamber.
back in the day.
All right, thanks a lot.
What's your name again?
My name is Dan.
Dan.
Oh no, this is this.
If you ever have any questions, come out. If you got more questions, I'd be happy to engage more with you on it. But we did revise it to try to clarify it's only for private officers. People can record wherever they want. And if anybody comes
I've
in,
seen it. I see the sign.
Yeah,
Like,
slide over there.
The sign
Just
rolling, but I went into the DMV, went to the clerk's office, and took pictures of the records and stuff.
Well, there's
the clerks.
It's up to you. No worries.
Not a lot of people
I don't
take
care either
pictures
way.
of records, so they get that money for the copies.
in the end of the day, it's up to we tell the employees, it's up to you to protect. If there's a sensitive record on your desk, and you don't want people to see it, turn it over.
Exactly.
Don't. Obviously you're not going to put it up to the camera, but it's really the employee's responsibility to secure their information. If you can see it, you can record it, and that's what we've instructed our employees. And so when people come in with cameras, if there's things that you don't want recorded, make sure you're turning those things over. Make sure they're out of view. But you can zoom in on signs, and if it's up, if you can see it, you can record it. And that's what we've done here, and that's our policy. And that's why you're not going to get any. And if you do get anybody,
I like counties like this because number one, I get a nice tour, I get a nice talking, and I don't have to worry about nobody following me in my car.
Yeah, our security guys, they know because we've had, like I said,
employers rule.
That kind of stuff.
But I mean, we won't hold it against you if you need to.
You're within your rights to do it, and then you get thrown out of a place.
The rules are
people are not
they allow one day of being 4 minutes late.
Yeah, we try.
I guess we have to thank Rich, huh?
Scheduled ahead of time
Well,
vacation.
even when he came in, nobody stopped him from recording.
That's the only thing
he had an issue.
He
had an issue. It's like, if you look at Mr. Nice Guy Activism on YouTube, he has a video.
No, I get it. You want to be with your friend.
Actually, you guys ever get any fallout from him, or redress from the public?
No, he was nice to us because he said the same thing you're saying. That they're a transparent county. He likes coming here compared to the other places he's been throughout the state. And when we revised the sign, because I met with him in the county clerk's office, and too bad you couldn't like to that because he's on vacation, but he's a good guy.
We'll let them know.
And he said, I got a problem with the sign. I don't.
Yeah, normally I ask that you text, but I'm glad you called.
And I interpret this meaning I can't record anywhere. And I said, that's not the point. He's like, well, that's not what the sign says. And so
I appreciate it. If I wouldn't have answered that, I would have appreciated it.
I sent him a screenshot. I said, what do you think? He said, that works for me. So, yeah. And that's why nobody's going to pass it because everybody knows. And if they don't, the problem that we have is we've had so much turnover with retirements and stuff. And so making sure the new employees know, because sometimes people, you get it and you probably see it. Some people are not comfortable on camera.
Yeah.
And they see it and they're like, oh my God, what's this person doing? Why are they here with the camera? And I tell people, if you don't be a camera, they go in your office and close the door if you're
I think
shy or
one
whatever.
thing that's important, especially elected officials and police officers need to know, as soon as they took that job for the government, they actually gave permission to be recorded.
But some of the clerical staff could be shy at times, and you can understand.
I haven't really seen that here.
Yeah, well, they know because
well educated. I like that.
People are educated and they know what right you have, and you and anybody has the right. That's why we like to be transparent here in Madison County.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yeah, good to meet you. If you ever have any questions, I'll give you my business card on the way out.
Yeah.
Cut through my office again.
Can I get your name?
It's Mary.
Mary, my name's Dan.
Do you have a filter on that to make this look better?
Well, you guys are looking good down here in Madison County. I'll give you guys that.
Yeah, it's how long I've been there, so.
Wow.
Yeah, but I've known him forever, and he's such a good kid.
Let's repeat it with everything else, and said, you know what, we've got she says we've got a gun violence epidemic. in New Mexico and specifically Albuquerque. So she made a public health order outlawing the carrying of firearms in the state of New Mexico, more specifically Albuquerque and Bernalillo County. A number of different people filed lawsuits against her and filed for a temporary restraining order to keep the governor from being able to have the state police enforce these orders. Last week on Gimbal died. I had it unbalanced. Okay, so I'll talk while I'm fixing it. So the TRO was granted a temporary restraining order saying that the governor's order cannot be enforced by anyone, state police, anyone until they move forward and figure out whether it's even constitutional or not. In order for this temporary restraining order to be granted, plaintiffs had to prove a couple of things. One, that carrying out the order would cause irreparable harm, and two, that there was a very good chance that the plaintiffs would succeed on this in court anyways. And so both of those burdens were met. The temporary restraining order was put in place. She went and amended her order. Now, the temporary restraining order was for two parts of her order, part 1 and part 4. Part 1 said,
no, don't worry about it. It's the doctor already released you, so we're good.
Public,
so yeah, so you'll be back tomorrow. Okay.
Your car,
you're all set
while traveling to and from different places, it would have to
no
be a
worries,
lock
man.
box or have a trigger lock on it. But part 4 specifically applied to
the return to duty, yeah,
and state property.
I'm gonna let them know
Obviously,
that
for
you're
those
gonna
who
be
watch
back
my
tomorrow.
channel, you know,
Yeah.
state property is
But I would
public
bring that
property.
with you.
There's still a difference between a public park and a public sidewalk. They're able to say that they're governing the park and that they put hours on the park, for example, right? Most public parks close at 10 p.m. Some close at dusk. And so this also, part 4 also applied to like state parks, rest stops on the side of the highway, all of those things. So the TRO applied to both of those parts and said, no, Governor, you can't restrict carry of firearms on public sidewalks. You also can't restrict it in these public parks. So she went and amended her order after this and said, okay, the new amended order says that we're only restricting firearms in public parks and areas where families gather. Did you not just hear, Ms. Governor, that was already part of your previous order and the TRO specifically covers that part? All right. That was talked about extensively in the TRO hearing. I was present in the TRO hearing and it was talked about extensively. And some of the attorneys were at first slightly conflicted on it. Some of them said, no, part 4 is fine, because part 4 actually also applied to schools and places that the TRO was, places that firearms were already banned by statute. And so some of them were saying, oh, well, it doesn't really matter. Firearms are banned in some of these places anyways. And then others were saying, well, it does matter. The places where, such as schools and quote sensitive areas where firearms are already banned, it's already banned by legislation. And so we are arguing that no, they shouldn't be banned in public parks and these other areas that are not actually considered sensitive areas. And so the ruling specifically said, no, Miss Governor, you cannot ban firearms in public parks. That's what the TRO said. And she went and modified her order to specifically violate the judge's TRO that was granted. This woman is an attorney. She's a bar member. She's not the layman like you and I. She knows better. But I just wanted to put this out there and tell you guys where we're at now. She has amended her order to specifically violate the TRO. I don't know where we're going on this from here. I can tell you this, though. My next argument is going to be that the entire health order needs to be thrown out, and that she has zero authority to make any health order on gun violence at all. Now, the other parts of the order don't pertain to taking away firearms at all. They pertain to arresting individuals who actually commit crimes. But we already have laws that say, yes, you arrest people when they commit crimes, when they stab people, when they shoot people, when they rob people, when they shoplift. But especially over the last couple of years, they've stopped prosecuting shoplifters. They've stopped arresting criminals. They have to, most of the time, they don't even show up to calls. And so my argument is that none of this, I don't want a dictator. There are a lot of things in this as far as, hey, she's saying, hey, let's fight crime, that I agree with. But you should have been fighting crime from the beginning. And I don't want it done by public health order. I don't want it done by a dictator. That's my real problem. Sure, we can agree on a lot of these things, but we are not going to agree that you get to unilaterally decide everything that's going to happen and nobody else gets a say in it. That I'm against. Even if I agree with you on everything in that public health order, I'm still against you getting to unilaterally decide that this is what's going to happen. Because even if I agree with you on
and if I don't answer, please just shoot me a text at this number.
The floodgate that says, well, you always get to decide everything. We are creating a dictator if we allow something like this to happen. And when we do that, inevitably, they always choose to take it way too far. Now, I think she took it way too far with this order alone. But even if I agreed with everything, it's still wrong. I'll give you guys updates on this as I get them. I'm sure that some new lawsuits will be filed. She's saying that she wants to, open up some dialogue. More than anything, that her intent in doing this was not necessarily that she thought she would win, but that we could open up a dialogue about starting to ban guns. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. I think the only dialogue that should be opened up is how long it's going to take to put her in prison. And once we're done with that, because this is really about taking criminals and stopping them from committing crimes by doing whatever is necessary, putting them in prison, maybe helping them obtain employment, whatever it is, so that they can be successful, productive members of society rather than be criminals that take from life, liberty, and property. So I think that first and foremost, the discussion that needs to be had is, when do we put her in prison? Because we can't possibly have a civilized society as long as we have people like her out and about attempting to commit crimes while under the guise of being government and it being legitimate because she's government. In my opinion, she's probably the most dangerous criminal out there on the streets today. And so I do agree, Miss Michelle Lujan Grisham, let's fight crime. And let's start with you. Let's not talk about anything else. You want a discussion? Let's discuss putting you in prison, and then we'll talk about the rest.
Damn. That is our dude.
Hey, dilly everybody, happy Monday. That's right, it's Monday all day.
How's it going?
Monday
good to see you here, man.
I get it.
Good.
I get it. Hope you're all
Yeah,
having
Jill,
a good
keep
day.
coming.
Lots of news to cover today.
I hear you,
in addition
man.
to at least 4 standalone videos on both YouTube and Rumble. So I'm happy to see you are all here. Happy to hear from all of you today as well. How was your weekend? Hope it was good.
Froze.
The Russell Brand story is an interesting one. I suppose we could start with that, just because it's it's awfully suspicious. It's awfully suspicious timing. I mean, if you've been around, you know that it isn't suspicious. They've been writing this hit piece for half of the year, or since May or June. They've been working on it, and I think there's some things that how would I say, like, there are some things, okay, that are in Russell's past. He, I know, had some drug problems, and some addiction problems, but these are not, how do I put, like, these are not unknown things. In fact, if Russell Brand were still a part of Hollywood and still, like, openly espousing, you know, very clearly liberal talking points, you know, being a sexual degenerate is something that is celebrated by the left. Russell Brand is clearly not a conservative. But what he is he is a kind of a wild card in the way that he will speak out against big pharma, government corruption, mainstream media, kind of goes on his own, you know, marches to the beat of his own drum. I think he would qualify himself as closer to a socialist than I suspect a conservative. My cat, of course, wants out. Hold on a second. Come on, Colt. Come on. Yeah, I know you want out. So, any hoozle, am I shocked? Am I shocked to find out that he had sex with a 16-year-old? No, I'm not. If it is true. That said, the age of consent where he lives is 16, and even though the ick factor is high for me, that does not make him a criminal. They basically found more than 100 women that have interacted with him, I suppose sexually, or at least they had hoped, the media anyway. They found 100 women and dug around to try and find 3 or 4 of them that would say something bad about him. This a thread, but by Suleiman Ahmed, Channel 4 and the Times Russell Brand hit piece exposed right and left wing British media unite to smear alternative voices. Russell Brand is a well-known alternative media personality. He doesn't follow or propagate the mainstream narrative, and Axis of MSM has colluded to destroy him and his reputation because he poses an existential threat to them. When he led a hedonistic lifestyle, mainstream media promoted and broadcast his stereotypically liberal behavior. At that time, they had no issue. Decades later, after he left that lifestyle and agitated mainstream media, both the left and the right-wing branches, they've manufactured weak allegations out of the past to take him out. They did the same thing with Andrew Tate, and they will do the same thing again. I believe they also said something about that, like that, about Assange, too. The irony is that liberal leftist society promotes hedonism, and then when the time is right, uses that very behavior to cancel a person. Welcome to 2023. The media has assumed upon itself the role of prosecutor, judge, and jury with no regard for justice or due process. Let's do a forensic analysis into the Times and Channel 4 hit pieces, see the strength of these claims. So, to be clear, not a single one of these women filed a complaint with the police. Not a single one of them. So we can, so let's start there. Not a single one of them filed
Hey,
a
Matt,
complaint with the police.
you killed it yesterday, man. You're beating the hell out of
They
Anna.
contacted hundreds of women in order to find dirt on Russell Brand. Simply put, the articles and Dispatch's documentary were a result of years of digging up any woman that would give the mainstream media the story they wanted. They frankly admit they scrutinized Brand's books and interviews and watched and listened to hundreds of hours of his shows on the BBC, Channel 4, and YouTube to corroborate allegations. Imagine speaking to so many people during the height of his fame. Brand claims he had slept with 80 women a month, and yet they managed to find only 4, all of whom were actually also in a relationship with Brand. How convenient. By the way, regret is not rape. So this is the game. You can have a relationship with someone, and decades later, the woman can claim the encounters during that middle of it were non-consensual. Here's a video featuring a woman confirming that Brand was indeed kind to her and everything between them was consensual. However, her account didn't align with the mainstream media narrative, so it was excluded from the documentary. This is one of the many individuals who contacted among the hundreds.
I actually know who this is about, and I have the receipts. I was contacted in June by a journalist regarding a video I made about a certain celebrity and a weekend that we shared together. The video is kind of viral. It's on my page somewhere if you want to go see it. And that certain somebody was, as most of you will be aware, Mr. Brand. They weren't going to use my story because it didn't fit the narrative for their documentary, because he wasn't an asshole to me. But here are some of the messages. Obviously, I will...
See, what's really interesting about these messages is they're basically like, hey, I'm a loser journalist. I'm reaching out to see, if you would talk to us, if we get a quick chat on the phone. See, these cowards always wanted to be on the phone because they don't want any of their leading questions and things of that nature to be on the record. I appreciate that, Lisa. That's my video editors that do all that. The second message here,
the person's name.
She puts on the screen. We're looking into a male celebrity and his behavior towards women over the years. The reason it's hard for us to go into too many details is because it's at a sensitive stage and we're keen to protect everyone involved so far.
Right.
The reason they don't want to tell her who they're talking about or what they want is because then it would be on the record.
Okay.
For
Yeah,
instance, we're worried about our message being shared more widely. Oh, I wonder why. That's why it's much easier for us to speak to people over the phone.
appreciate
It
it.
helps us build up trust and reassurance.
You too.
No. They want it on the phone so the person who they're interviewing doesn't have any record of it and can't refute when they twist and turn the things that the media says.
And stuff. We had a phone call. She contacted me for more information, and I didn't contact her back because I kind of felt like it would be mean. Anyway, there you go. Put your bets on. It's a documentary about the one and only Mr. Russell Brand. And just a fun fact, astrology-wise, the
I don't care about that. Okay, so then it goes, for some reason, according to their argument, Russell Brand exhibits a pattern where all of the raped women admit they were already in a sexual relationship with him. Why this is a bizarre pattern, if exclusively raping women he's already having non-rape sexual relationships with. That's a game. With this methodology, you can take any man out. She says Brand continued to pursue her some time, and after he asked her to visit his flat, when she arrived, they kissed and had sex. They began a relationship, but she alleges he told her to keep it a complete secret. Okay, so?
Chopper.
I mean, we all know
Welcome.
that
Happy Monday,
he was
Chopper.
having sex with anything that would move. But he was also super famous at the time, and I'm not exactly sure. Although that's not always an excuse. Famous people do rape. I firmly believe that Bill Cosby did drug and rape those women. Now, was it all hundreds of them or whatever? I don't know. But famous people certainly can still partake in this type of in this behavior. The first woman who claimed he raped her presented the following as
Russell
evidence.
didn't have to.
She asserts he apologized, but the nature of the apology wasn't that he raped her. It's evident that the apology was related to not using a condom during the encounter. She also mentioned getting tested for any potential consequences due to not using protection. In this scenario, not using a condom is equated to rape. It's not clear whether they use condoms every time or not in their seemingly numerous sexual encounters, but whether stealthing is the same as rape is extremely contentious. But of course, feminists seek to weaponize any type of heterosexual encounter. I actually happen to believe that if you agree on wearing a condom and take it off without telling them, I don't know if I would call that rape, but that's messed up. I don't know what you would call that, but you agree to that, and then, okay, then they could say it fell off or something. Okay, maybe. But I think if you knowingly agree to use protection and then don't use it, that's messed up. The same way a woman saying she's on the pill if she's not on the pill, or that all kind of stuff. This message also looks extremely odd and edited. I'm sorry that was crazy and selfish. I hope you can forgive me. I know that you're a lovely person. You scared the S out of me. You're right. I am a lovely person, and for you to take advantage of me like that is unexpectable. You have a problem. You need help. It's dangerous that you think you can get your own way all the time. Do you know how scary you are when that glazed look comes over you? When a girl says no, it means no. Do I have to go get myself tested? Last time you asked me condom or no condom. When I say condom, that doesn't mean it's optional. You don't have the best reputation. I pride myself on being safe and trying to make the right decisions. Obviously, that was a bad one. I'm so disappointed. So yeah, she told him to wear rubber and he didn't. That's certainly a dick move. I think in my opinion.
If it's even true, it is a dick move. But
he was, basically a sex addict. And they cut a lot of stuff out to remove context. But I think it's pretty clear this is about him not wearing a rubber. But it's certainly a, Recall that stealthing was the exact same accusation used against Julian Assange by accusers. Coincidence, I'm sure. This case highlights a consequence of the Me Too movement, the redefinition of rape to include any and everything and trivializing actual rape. Also, if you download the image and blow it to its full size, you'll notice that the text looks different, and there's a faint line between the words when a woman says no. The left side of the blue comment appears to be smudged and not clearly defined line. It appears the message has been tampered with. We shall see in any case. It's not proof of rape, even if it's genuine. Initially, the article claimed that Brand raped her against a wall in his Los Angeles home. She was treated at a rape crisis center on the same day. Then later in the article, it is clear she was in a consensual relationship with Russell Brand. A screenshot of the messages after the alleged encounter suggests that she was upset Brand didn't use a condom. When a girl says no, that means no. Last time you asked me condom or no condom. When I say condom, that doesn't mean it's optional. This is not a new phenomenon of where women decide after the fact that consensual sex with a celebrity is rape. Not wearing a condom does not equate to rape. In a message, she does not claim rape, and Brand is still in communication with her by the 5th of August. We do not know if all the messages were preserved, since why is there a random message 1 month and 5 days later? What we know is that when she came to Brand's home later that day, she was in a sexual relationship with him and alleged he asked for a threesome. Did the journalist try to track this individual down to corroborate events? It appears not. Also note that this duplicitous prudery in the article, since the media are complicit in encouraging promiscuity, such as the open relationship and orgies. Here's a recent example from the Times. At the same time of celebrating orgies, lesbianism, open relationships, and threesomes as being empowering and liberating for women, they now criticize Brand for empowering women and himself to engage in these same sexual practices. Teenage sexuality itself is celebrated voyeuristically in shows like The White Lotus, Sex Education, Euphoria, and Channel 4's own Skins, which gleefully depicts teenage sexuality. Yet the same people now suddenly find themselves in the position of Puritans disapproving of even sexual activity at a legal age. The second woman claims that the relationship was non-consensual because she was 16. So despite the fact of legal age, now this is, because besides the fact that she's legal, this is now considered some sort of rape. In society that occurred sexual activity at a young age where minors engage in relationships, it's paradoxical that they label legal sex as rape based solely on age. Well, we do that. It's called statutory rape. We do that in law, and that is true. If you are too young, you cannot consent. The implied accusation of pedophilia does not align with the actual circumstances, showing an attempt to redefine the age of consent to misconstrue Brand's actions. Yet these are the exact same organizations who demanded and lobbied the age of consent to be constantly lowered until it was 16 to include homosexual activity, including anal penetrative intercourse. They're talking about this Call Me By Your Name, which is like a little kid and an old man fall in love, and apparently it's not weird. The Times now makes a laughable attempt to belay the age of consent. Note the law in the UK allows a 16-year-old to have a consensual relationship, and Alice admits that Brand checked to ensure she was 16 at the time of their consensual relationship. Hardly behavior of a predatory nature. The reader is also told that Alice has decided to speak out now because now she believes she was too young to be able to consent with an adult man, and that the law should be changed to protect the
Impact employment.
Well, it's still the law and was the law of the land at the time. So, again, I can't speak to how she feels. Yep. But the fact of the matter is regret is not rape. And we've seen this in times. Again, I'm fully willing to accept that Russell Brand made some poor decisions and lived his life in a dangerous manner for many years, and this is something that he has been open with. So to now drum up all these women and say, "Oh well, now she regrets it, so therefore it must be rape," is beyond disingenuous. Here's an example of Stephen Fry marrying Elliot Spencer, who is 30 years younger than him. There's no issue here, as Fry is praised by the establishment. This is gross. This is just my interpretation of it, okay? This is my interpretation of it. So, your mileage may vary, you may disagree. But when I look at this man, this young man,
he usually catches himself when he does it. But
to me, now this kid is 27 years old, so it's not pedophilia and it's not illegal, but it looks gross. This guy does not look 30 years old. If you told me this kid was 16, I'd believe you. This guy is clearly a grandfather, and this now he's 27, so whatever. It's legal. It's not pedophilia, but it looks gross to me. if you spam links in my chat, you get banned. You know, I don't know. You know, just so people who have been here know, but unless I ask for a link for something. Here's another example of Sarah Paulson marrying Holland Taylor, who's 32 years older than her. When women do it, there's no issue. Again, this is a weak argument by Suleiman. I don't really care about age gaps. It's whatever the law says. You know, there are many examples of huge age gap people. I don't really care about this. It's not surprising because liberals in particular love pedophilia. She also wanted to legalize pedophilia, like Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay, we're getting off here. So we're getting off. Suleiman's going off here a little bit off the rails. All right, so moving back to that woman. And how did the alleged relationship end with her? Was the alleged allegation of rape? No. The relationship ended when Brand invited her over one day, and she arrived to find another woman in his bed. I was so angry, and I said to him, "Why would you do this to me? This is so humiliating." So she's mad at him, and now she says he raped her. Spicy, I like you, but you know, you might get caught up in it. So you might want to be careful. Here's another woman who engaged in a consensual relationship with Brand. He pursued her, and she willingly entered into a relationship with him. She says Brand continued to pursue her, and sometime after he asked her to visit his flat. When she arrived, they kissed, and then they had sex. They began a relationship, but she alleges he told her to keep it a complete secret. Okay, so what? I mean, what about that is rape? In this case, once again, the woman engaged in a consensual sexual activity with Brand. Her issue with him seemed to stem from his apparent disinterest reflected in his glazed over look during the act. It's unclear how she could hold him accountable for that. Well, he was a sex addict. Pretty sure. You know? She was having consensual sex with Brand, even though it is claimed this ended and later he sexually assaulted her. She claims categorically that he did not rape her and that he kissed her and wanted to have sex with him. She claims a decade or more later that she thinks he put her hands on her pants. This isn't sure of what actually happened. No court of law would accept such testimony, but it's easy to convince people with salacious accusations. This is why you get situations where these people go to the media instead of the police because either they're lying or they can't prove it. Now, just because they can't prove it doesn't mean it didn't happen, but it does mean that has to guide our decision making when we're looking at claims that are made, right? You wait. This is my rules in terms of accusations of impropriety or crimes in general, really. And this goes for men making the claim as well as women making the claim. If the first time you make the claim is on social media or to a reporter, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Let's not act like Russell Brand, who was very famous at the time and had lots of money, didn't have women predating him. I am certain that. Oh, guess what time it is, everybody? Hucky. Boy. You good boy. Come on up here, my man. Good boy, Hockey. Yes, you did good. You did it. No. Oh, you heard the car again. Hockey, he's gone. You scared him away. Good boy. Yes, thank you. Okay. Yeah, okay, come back. Come on up here. Yes. Oh, my old puppy. You want to say hi, Haka Papa?
Who's this? Hockey. Can I have a kissy? No? No kissy for Dad? Come here. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Are you a good puppy? Thank you. Yeah. Okay, thanks for protecting me. Can I go back to my show now? Yeah, thank you. Good boy. All right.
This is how they clean a.
So, after the ordeal, she continued to work for Brand. Is it believable that she would return to Brand's home regularly out of her own free will if she was sexually assaulted by him? Well, again, I understand the logic. I understand I understand the logic of that, but that isn't always true. There are plenty of situations where women stay with their abusers. I mean, spousal abuse is a thing, and they stay with them for a long time for a wide variety of reasons. So I'm just trying to be fair, you know. She found herself in his bedroom under unclear circumstances, describing that as if it were a magic trick that brought her into the bedroom. She insists she didn't know how she ended up there and asks for trust in her account. Importantly, she explicitly states that he did not rape her. He grabbed me, got me on the bed. She claims he tried to kiss her and remove her clothes as he pinned her down. Phoebe said, I saw something come over his eyes. Notice how they all say that kind of thing? Like black, his eyes had no more color. They were black like the devil, like a different type of person. I was screaming. I was like, what are you doing? Stop. You're my friend. I love you. Please don't do this. I think he had his hands down my trousers, but I was fighting so hard, kicking so hard, hoping that he could somehow get through. She says, I don't know what the actual definition of sexual assault is, but it feels like that. He didn't rape me. Well, I mean, if you force a woman down and you put your hand down her pants, that's sexual assault. The discussion then shifts to an ex-girlfriend and her allegations. It's worth noting that the ex-girlfriend uses pseudonyms, avoiding real names. And you can't. And again, this guy, he's got a good thread here, but he kind of like dodged a little. He's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't necessarily. I think he could have a tighter defense. There's no question in my mind that Russell Brand was probably high. And obviously, if he pinned some woman down and entered her pantaloons, that's sexual assault, and she should have went to the police, and I would have supported a conviction. I suspect it is not all. That's not all the details. I suspect that perhaps they had hooked up in the past or something like that. There's some sort of, they were making out, and then he was,
Would have been
I don't
ultimate.
know.
Chopper
I
would have
suspect
joined our
that there's a
fantasy
little
football
more to
league.
the story.
See how everybody's doing.
So then they switched to another ex-girlfriend. It's worth noting that the ex-girlfriend used pseudonyms to avoid real names. Oh yeah, again, I don't agree. People should be able to anonymously report things. That's important. This seems to suggest that if Brand were to sue for defamation, he'd have to prove that the book referred to him. Essentially, she didn't provide concrete names in her story, which raises more questions. She clearly didn't believe in the veracity of her own story. One of the women allegedly attempted to extort money from him before
Our
approaching the
laps
press.
being dirty.
Shocking. Regarding her demand, she mentioned that their lawyer's response stating, I was after money, and I implied that I was after money and implied that it was almost blackmail that I was doing. I never mentioned money. The lawyer was. The only person that ever mentioned money. This is ridiculous, suggesting that the lawyer is not acting on behalf of seeking money from Brand. So, like, you end up with this situation now where you know, these things, these books or articles and hit pieces are getting written. And again, I want to remind people, not one single person reported anything to the police ever. Now, does that mean nothing happened? No. But it does mean that we have to have
We both
standards.
have one player, and he has almost twice as many as Anna.
This is why, like, so many people, like, I get cooked often for basically staying out of the Andrew Tate thing. You know, I don't agree with everything Andrew Tate's ever done. I don't know, you know, in terms of his cam girl business and all this kind of stuff. But what I will say is we have to have standards. And he has not been convicted of anything. And so I am not going to act like I was there and that I'm 100% sure Andrew Tate is guilty because of some out of context clips and you know, clips and like supercuts of him saying something terrible. You know, and like I think that that's just the reality of it. I don't if he's guilty, he's guilty, okay? But I'm not going to say, "Oh, I watched a short video on Twitter of him saying heinous shit, so therefore he's guilty." I'm not I'm not doing that. If you believe he's guilty, you have every right to do that. You know? You have every right to do that. But my standard is at least it goes to court. Now, it can go to court and, you know, it can go to court and they can be convicted and they cannot be convicted. And you can agree or disagree with that. And, like, that's fair. But at least go to court. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you have to go to court. You have to file a police report. Otherwise, it's bunk. I don't have time. We shouldn't be spending time on, you know, scorned women or scorned men's claims. And, you know, Russell Brand, look, I mean, our paths hopefully will cross at some Rumble event at some day. I don't believe he's conservative at all. This is a problem that often happens on the right, where they think somebody's hashtag our guy just because they agree with us on one thing, and then they get mad when they find out that they're not. Like, I could give you plenty of examples. For example, like RFK Jr. When RFK Jr. talks about vaccine injuries and things of that nature, everyone's like, yeah, RFK based and red pilled. And then RFK talks about gun control and people are like, oh yeah, he is a Democrat. I feel betrayed. I'm angry. Or like, you know, Oliver Anthony's hashtag our guy. And then he says, I don't like conservatives. And they're like, I don't like Oliver Anthony now. And the same thing is true for Russell Brand. I think that his personal politics would wildly differ from my own. I never thought he's hashtag our guy either, but he is, as chat puts it too, he is over the target, asking questions about the COVID, asking questions about mainstream media, asking questions about the Clinton Foundation, asking questions about the ADL, asking questions. I mean, these are questions that Russell Brand regularly talks about. And, you know, people then now will say, "Oh my God, he's a." I'm not saying you, my chat. My chat, I think my chat's pretty based. Like my viewers are pretty much know the situation because that's kind of who I am. You know, like I don't claim any tribe. I think tribalism is extremely bad. I find Russell Brand extremely interesting. I'm sure I wouldn't vote the same way he does, and I don't have the same opinions as him. You know, in terms of, heck, even veganism, right? But he is a huge ally, as Forge put it in chat, in terms of waking people up on, you know, the vaccines and things like that.
Mary back down P.
Toxic Clark said 2 times speed sounds crazy. That's funny. Yeah, Russell has turned lefties towards the center. He has paid his dues. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. And you look at, you know, Russell Brand, anytime these people get, you know, really influential, the difference I would say between like Russell and Andrew Tate, okay, I believe that there was a coordinated effort to discredit and villainize and imprison Andrew Tate. Whether or not it was based on facts or not doesn't change the fact that it was a coordinated effort, whether it was social media coordinating to ban him across every major, you know, YouTube, Twitter at the time, things like that, or you know, the government, the corrupt, you know, government going seizing his cars and all this kind of stuff, sitting in prison without a trial. Two things can be true at once. I believe that that was, you know, a coordinated type thing, but some of what they say about Andrew Tate is undoubtedly true. Some of what they say about Russell Brand, undoubtedly true. He was like a sexual deviant. He was, you know, gross. And he was a drug addict. These things are all true. So it's, you know, it's difficult to, you know, you just have to stay smart, you know, and stay vigilant about, you know, who you align with, who you agree with. How about we move our topic to a woman, another woman being stupid on a plane and probably doing it for publicity, but it's going to backfire because we're not going to give her publicity. We're going to dunk on her. How about that for a topic? By the way, I really appreciate everyone tuning in today. Beautiful, beautiful crowd. I'm glad that you're here. I'm live every single Monday through Friday from noon to 2. If you're watching now, please do make sure you leave a thumbs up on it. We're only at 267 of those. And we've got nearly 3,800 people watching. So hopefully you'll leave a like on it. And by the way, if you're just watching, you don't yet have a Rumble account, I try to ask once or twice a stream, make sure you create a Rumble account and you get involved in chat. Like I read the chat, as you guys can tell. I'm not like one of those streamers that only reads chats that people do pay money for. Yeah, Rumble rants are cool and I appreciate them, but I read the actual chat. So if you want to have your voice heard and hear me, you know, hear what I'm saying about stuff, or want me to hear what you have to say, I read it. It's on my screen. I'm staring straight at the chat. And then if you haven't yet, there's a follow button here. I'm trying to get to 157,000 followers this week. It would be absolutely great. And if you want to support the channel, you can hit the join button. This way you get a monthly members only video. It's $5 a month. If you like those intros and all that kind of stuff, that helps support. I read your chats, restricted redactions. You can get a members only video on locals per month. It's $5 and it helps support the team, which I have 2 full-time video editors, a graphics guy, and of course myself. And it would be great. So we've got another TMNIFR. Did I say that right? Another TMNFIR. We've got another woman having a meltdown on a plane. This time, I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there because I am one of the best prognosticators of e-girl marketing ploys, perhaps in history. Perhaps in history. And this TMNFIR woman, I believe, is just doing it for clout. Influencers, American Airlines meltdown. I'm Instagram famous, you effing bum. Imagine a world in which people say, I'm Instagram famous, like as if it were an own. What a bizarre thing. And by the way, yeah, I would agree that, it seems like all these, it's like, oh, another fake woman who uses a ton of filters and has massive cake face, who injects silicone into her lips and various other parts of her body. If anybody's a bum, it's this woman. This Bad Girls Club alum's behavior went way over the top. Influencer, I'm not going to say her name because no clout for you, loser, who claims to have dated Britney Spears' husband. Ooh, that's how degenerate these people are. That's her own. Oh, I dated Britney Spears' husband, so that makes me important. What a loser. Is being ripped online after she was filmed calling herself Instagram famous while throwing a tantrum aboard a flight. The 35-year-old designer, who appeared on Oxygen's The Bad Girls Club, recently confirmed her identity in a statement to the Post. Yeah, it's me, declared Osmond, who regularly uploads saucy bikini pics for her nearly 1 million followers on Instagram. The clip, which is currently blowing up on Reddit, shows the fashionista exchanging words with an off-screen passenger while grabbing her bags aboard an unspecified flight. Call me a B-word again, the Miami, Florida native dares while the videographer guffaws in the background. I did nothing wrong, she continues, after which the other flyer tells her to shut up. Oh, I hope we have the video. In response, Osmond tells the other passenger to shut the F up before walking away with her bag. Things come to a head after the social media celeb notices the passenger filming the exchange, whereupon she sarcastically claims, "Film me. I'm Instagram famous, you effing bum." Oh my God. The clip concludes with onlookers collapsing into laughter as the woman tells the cabin to shut the F up. This is great. This is great. This is exactly how these people should be treated in real life. They should be mocked. They should be laughed at. You should point and laugh at these weirdos in real life, because I'll tell you what, things are coming down the pipeline in terms of our economy, okay? Things are going to get tough out there. Being Instagram famous won't pay your mortgage. It's yet unclear what prompted the altercation. However, Osmond's antics made her a laughingstock on Reddit, despite nobody knowing her identity at the time. If you have to tell people you're famous, you're not famous. Another wrote, famous but still flying coach, LOL. Hope she gets banned from flying for such disgusting behavior. Others found it ironic that Osmond boasted about her celebrity status while flying in cattle class. Someone tell cringe Kardashian over there she's in coach, scoffed one detractor. If you're so famous, why aren't you in first class or even business class? No one cares who you are. Sigh. I really hate how social media has made non-talented people, quote, famous, feel so validated, lamented a third. Osmond is perhaps the most famous for comments she made after it came out that Britney Spears and Sam, I don't care, were getting divorced. The Floridian has claimed that she's been seeing Britney Spears' ex while he was dating the Everytime singer, spawning rumors of infidelity. So her entire personality, her fame, is that she's a homewrecker. The self-proclaimed nest wrecker even posted and quickly deleted a saucy snap of herself smooching him, claiming he was, quote, using Britney. I need this rant. I need this rant. Oh, yes, here we go. Okay, now, I don't know if this is going to be bleeped or not, okay? Okay, so just full warning there. Okay, so call me a B word again, so it is bleeped.
Call me again. Yeah, you did nothing wrong. I said shut up. No, you shut the up. You shut the up and you're you shut the film me. I'm Instagram famous, you bum. Shut the
up. Everybody's just laughing. Everybody's what's going on here in the it looks like someone needs some new underwire, maybe.
And allegedly involved in this incident was indeed a passenger traveling on the 9.
I don't really know. This is a perfect example of, again, like Instagram making people appear to be way more famous. Like the brunette turns and walked down the aisle before noticing a woman filming an interaction. Furious, she shouts, "I'm Instagram famous." I don't know, like I'm surprised if who did it better. Well, TMNFIR did it way better. It's currently unclear if Osmond is the Instagram famous woman or which flight she was on. Well, we now know it is. I don't really understand. My guess is this is a publicity stunt. I'm guessing. I don't know. Another ex-user shared the video of the unitard-wearing Instagram famous woman commenting, "Imagine me this entitled." Others laughed at her use of the word bomb.
You get kicked off a plane.
Emoji.
The cops will be there. I've been yakking with you guys with it. I didn't even realize I had taken
saying,
myself out of
Instagram
the
famous,
screen.
and no one on that plane even knew who she was. I mean, absolute embarrassment in every conceivable way, shape, or form. But that's what social media does. Not just women, men too. You know, you see a lot of these dorks, these guys too, act all entitled, and just because they're the flavor of the month. I mean, look, you can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money in a short time by going like viral or being, you know, some dork on TikTok. But that money dries up almost as quick as it comes in. And what most people lack is any sense of like gratitude or any kind of idea that perhaps they may have gotten lucky. And so they, you know, like at least now with the TMNFIR lady, at least she wasn't trying to get clout. To me, it's pretty clear. Like these, if you look at these comments, this is what social media does. Everyone thinks they're famous. Utter abject delusion on full display. Shrinks are going to have a field day with this generation, especially when the only thing they care about their looks fade. Yeah, I mean, that's very, very true. In terms of female Instagram models, I'm sure there are male Instagram models that are just as vain and just as dumb, but they just don't seem to end up getting caught on camera being this dumb, at least as often. It's like, I remember when blue check marks on Twitter were like something that only leftoids and creeps got. You know, they went to the bar and they'd be like, they would use their Twitter blue check mark as a weird flex to try to get laid. That's what this clown's doing. Like, look at me taking this picture with my fake boobs and and heavy filters and makeup and hours in preparation for this one picture. You can see here she's not exactly a good-looking woman, at least in my opinion. Any woman that has to wear that much makeup is not attractive. And the idea that like these people keep getting attention is sad indeed. But not gonna give up my. I'm still riding with TM and FIR lady over this chick, guaranteed. Vile woman.
That man is not real.
King of Biltong says, good afternoon from Anton's in Roanoke, Texas, that is. Free shipping on your Biltong order using code THEQ on landofbiltong.com and antonsus.com. Hope everyone had a great start of the week. Yeah, check out, if you like Biltong, if you ever want to try it, definitely check him out. I think you'll probably really enjoy it. How about we do a little more dunking? I think we should. Don't you? I think it's an important service that we provide here at the Quartering. I wonder what the boomers at Jeremy's bar think about what he does. Do they know about YouTube, etc.? I'll tell you this much: for the most part, I'll say this.
Dude, who clipped that, Ryan?
That
thing from this morning.
Old timers do know what like podcasts are. So
we'll play it again.
Take my stream down. Yo, what's going on right here, man? What's happening? What is happening right now? Is this live right now? Oh my god, what is happening?
You're on the internet? You're on the internet? You know who else is on the internet? PETA. PETA did an oopsie. PETA.com. Where am I trying to find my PETA article? Here we go. Okay. By the way, really happy to have a sponsor for this.
Is that a Twitter chat?
And that's quarteringgold.com. The economy is not going to go back to how it was before. Remember how quickly it all went bad. First, it was inflation. It's still inflation. Then the housing bubble. Banks started collapsing. And now the Fed is laying the groundwork for digital currency. Your money is being attacked at almost every conceivable angle. So at this point, you could bury your head in the sand and pretend everything will get better, or take advantage of this opportunity to protect your wealth while you still can. Write this down, because you only need to get one chance to protect your retirement savings. You could get up to $10,000 in free silver from Sean Hannity's partner, Goldco. You heard that right. $10,000 in free silver. Plus, qualified callers this week could get a free Ronald Reagan silver coin when you visit quarteringgold.com. That's quarteringgold.com. Link in the description. Don't miss out what could be your best opportunity to protect your long-term savings.
Ron doesn't get a gold coin?
Quarteringgold.com. Link in the description as well. Now, normally, I would not want to play this video because it is very spicy. It's a video that I don't normally want to, get into. But what's pretty great to me is they got completely fact-checked, brutally fact-checked. And what they ended up posting was essentially creepy, I don't know. You'll have to see it, okay? So they put out this post, and it's a video of, I don't know how to describe it. And I think that, before you watch this video, you probably want to use a VPN. Let's just put it that way, okay? You probably want to get your private internet access VPN. Now, the sound of pain, tied down, screaming in pain whilst workers tear the hair from their bodies. Cashmere is torture for goats. And they post this. Now, again, I'm going to play a little bit of it. By the way, notice that this individual has his hand literally on her bob. It's literally on the bob the whole time. So, the future of fashion is vegan. Cashmere is torture for goats. Okay, well, here's the funny thing. So then PETA puts this out saying, think of the goats next time you see a cashmere jumper. Oh, heartbreaking.
They're combing them.
Okay, so they put the scary music and then, because they're getting ferminated or whatever. Now, the fact of the matter is, and then they get
brushing them.
Goats scream for all kinds of reasons, including hunger, boredom, and pain. Brushing them removes dandruff and loose hair that some goats get and increased blood flow. just lying, right? And then you see, hilariously, Shoe on Head points out, wow, look at all the dedicated animal rights activists bookmarking this. Because they point out, like, they put out prawn. They put out like weird fetish prawn. That's what all those bookmarks are, so people can go back later and enjoy the video in different way, shapes, or form, right? And you see so
That's
many
funny.
activists. You guys hiring? Yep. This person actually this person was like, "Are you hiring for the person that could probably do that thing?" You know, and then PETA falls for it again. Bro used clippers. Hair ain't even got nerves. Combing is painful, prolonged process. See the footage for yourself. Listen to the screams. Does this sound like a haircut to you? And then you see Monica. Cashmere is harvested by combing, not ripping it out. Like everybody, you see this. Fact check. Readers might want this kind. There are no nerves inside the hair of any known mammals, and shearing is as painful for sheep and goats as a haircut or shave to humans, meaning not at all if done right. I mean, just getting like absolutely, and then they're having a total meltdown. Then PETA has a total meltdown that they're getting fact checked saying,
Freeman's
this
goats.
content X added wrong is wrong and misleading. Combing is a painful, prolonged process. See the footage for yourself and listen to their screams. What? And then you see here for another 2,000, like everybody in the world dunks. Like, I don't know, as other side of Hollywood celebrities who gives money to PETA, but hilariously, you see here, then Chris, shout out Chris, posts this. Taking hair from goats when done properly is not a form of torture. The practice of collecting hair or fiber from goats typically involves shearing, similar to shearing sheep. The most well-known type of goat hair is cashmere, which comes from the cashmere goat, and there is also mohair, which comes from the Angora goat. Here are a few key points about shearing. 1, it's necessary for health. Goats need to be sheared regularly to prevent their hair from becoming too long, which can lead to overheating in warm climates and potential health issues. 2, there is no pain when done properly. Shearing, when done properly, done correctly by trained professionals, is quick and painless.
Yes.
It's
Yes, Matt, I agree.
Concern is ensuring the shears don't cut the skin, which requires skill and attention.
I got no issue with the bomb sniffing dogs at airports and shit like that. We get rid of drug
to handle the
dogs.
goat gently and calmly to minimize stress. Sure. Okay. Are they? You know, and then they get the
biting
sensitive
dogs.
content warning. Like they're just taking L after L after
Military
L.
wants to use them. Fucking
The community notes
but
really screwed you
cops
on
should
this
not
one.
have.
This context of Twitter is wrong and misleading. They keep
Maybe
like
one
quoting,
dog
this
for
is
your
the weirdest
bomb crew, that's
BDSM
it.
I've ever seen. People posting the lotion pic. If you need further proof that PETA is taking out their clacker, here it is, iconic that they never would have worked in the industry they claim is so cruel to animals, let alone a day in their life. They're also pathetic with too much time on their hands. Look, I don't own any cashmere. I don't know. All I know about cashmere is that it's super soft and it's expensive. Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Everybody then
And they
posts
can
up,
be
by the way,
trained
it would
to
be a shame for you if people
alert.
knew about
They've been caught over and over
PETAkillsAnimals.com.
again, training to
If
alert.
people knew about this. Over 2,000 cats and dogs in 2022 and more than 47,000 animals since 1998. That's what PETA has done. Just so everyone knows. That's, PETA cares about animals. They care so much about animals, right? Let's use this opportunity to talk about it. Why does PETA end cats and dogs by the thousands instead of finding them homes? Simply, PETA does not believe in pet ownership. Ingrid Newkirk has called pet ownership an abysmal situation. She further elaborated on her goal for destroying the human-pet bond. If people want toys, they should buy inanimate objects. If they want companionship, they should seek it with their own kind. In the end, I think it would be lovely if we stop the whole notion of pets altogether. Ridiculously, PETA has argued that outdoor cats should be summarily ended instead of being allowed to live. In a 2014 interview with the Washington Post, Newkirk argued that outdoor cats would be better off dead because they might contract future illness or be hit by a car in the future. In PETA's twisted mind, it's more humane to just euthanize animals for a hypothetical harm that might befall them in the future. Similarly, PETA has also argued in court that elephants are better off being ended than living in American zoos where they are well cared for. Here's the numbers. The Virginia Department of Agriculture Customer Service requires all animal shelters to report the number of cats and dogs they take in each year. The records indicate how many cats and dogs were reclaimed by their owners, adopted out, transferred to other Virginia releasing agencies, and euthanized, and how many shelters held alive at the end of the calendar year. We've added dogs and cats euthanized and divided by the total number of dogs and cats taken in, excluding those that had been only for sterilization surgery, to determine the percentage of dogs and cats that PETA ended in a given year. In 2009, Virginia modified its policy and eliminated animals held for sterilization from records. We've obtained the reports by filing the records. So just so we know, in 2022, PETA ended the lives of 74% of the pets that they took in. An all-time high. Actually, check that. In 2014, they euthanized 88.3% of the animals their shelters took in. 88. And if you look at this, in 2009, they euthanized 97.3% of animals taken in. They've been sued over it, by the way. In total, they've taken in 57,500 animals and euthanized 82% of them. Pardon me while I don't give a rat's rear end about what PETA has to say about animals at all. You know, pardon me while I don't care about PETA in any way, shape, or form. Since the website debuted in 2005, people have frequently asked PETA why it ends so many animals.
I'm not a huge fan of them
it
either.
does not run a traditional animal shelter, and that it puts down animals that are too sick or injured to carry on.
Then they're not being taken care of
Reasons to believe
properly.
This claim is inaccurate. In 2014,
One thing I will give the
reported
Toledo
that
Zoo
PETA employees
credit
had
for is
allegedly taken a family's
they're
chinchilla
very good
without
at
cause in broad
maintaining their
daylight
animals.
from the family's home. A surveillance video showed a van branded with the PETA logo pull up in the driveway, followed by a worker seizing the dog and driving
It's an
off.
award-winning zoo.
Wilbur Create, the dog's owner, said that PETA employees later returned to his home with a fruit basket and news that the dog had been euthanized. The Acromack County Sheriff charged the employees with larceny, and PETA refused to comment, despite numerous requests. In 2007, 2 PETA employees were tried for animal cruelty and littering in North Carolina, where they were caught in a late-night stakeout dumping passed away dogs and cats in a dumpster. Right? This is what PETA does. So pardon me while I don't take much time or care for PETA. Make sure you spread the word about this website to people out there. Sure, it would be a shame if people found out what PETA really did. I mean, the whole thing is wild to me. Absolutely wild, bonkers. Really happy to see so many faces today on this Monday, by the way. Really nice day. We had Viva Frey last Friday on the show, which was really awesome. And I think this week, Friday, we have Count Dankula, I think. I think it's Dankula on our Friday interview series. Are you on YouTube again or something? I still publish my videos on YouTube, and then the Friday conversation live streams only go to YouTube. But the daily show during the week, that's here on Rumble only. Yeah, it's Count Dankula this Friday. The next week, it's Harley Morenstein. Then Matt Kors, then Rusty Cage, then Robert Barnes, then Mark Dice. I've got so many interviews coming up. Oh, yeah, Fry. Viva Fry. I keep doing that. I keep screwing that up. Like, I've mispronounced it like 100 times on the live stream with them. That was bad. Well, while you're here, by the way, I don't know if you knew this, but I do have a coffee company. It's called coffeebrandcoffee.com.
Skip that part.
We just released our fall flavors, which are pumpkin pie, which is ridiculous. Like all of the location of the plane.
The
gift boxes are. I'll try to give a heads up in the chat because we sell out. Like I'll put them on sale like early November, and we'll sell out way before Christmas. Did you sponsor that streamer that got canceled last week? Yes. So anyway, the pilot ejected from a plane that was still capable of flying in autopilot mode, but then they couldn't track the F-35 because its transponder didn't work and it's a stealth jet. Why would the pilot eject if the plane could still fly? Something is wrong with the story. Yeah, it's very curious. I'm assuming it splashed down somebody. I'm assuming it splashed down somewhere.
Search is on now for the missing F-35. They don't know where it is and are asking the public for help. Publicly available flight data shows sled flying over Lake Moultrie near Charleston.
I'm assuming it's in the lake. But also the F-35 was a colossal failure for our military. The jet sucks. The jet sucks.
F-22 is the shit.
That's the biggest thing about it. $1 billion a jet, and it sucks.
No, 80 million.
Yeah, you guys check out your back window. See if there's any F-35s back there.
F-16.
See if you got any F-35s hanging out. Oh, we've got more stories. We've got more stories for everybody. I gotta use it real quick, but we've got a couple more stories. So hold on one sec. Jeremy, I don't subscribe to many channels because of the spam factor, but YouTube is pushing your channel hard again. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm here on Rumble. Hey, good boy, huh? You wait here. Okay, right back.
Take my stream down. Yo, what's going on right here, man? What's happening? What is happening right now? Is this live right now? Oh my god, what is happening?
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, building on the point that I've been making throughout my videos recently, I've never seen a group of people with such an incredible level of, let's call it self-righteous indignation. I've never seen a group of people with such a high level of moral superiority end up being so wrong every single time, all the time. You know, Democrat politicians are always talking about the facts, misinformation, the facts, the science. They're always presenting things in the current as if they're doing the right thing. They're following the data. They're following the facts. You know, essentially, they're right about everything. They know everything. And then fast forward just a little while later, they're sitting here apologizing about how they did everything wrong and changing their tone entirely once they, I guess, realize the mess that they created. Like I always say in these videos, there's a million of these examples and topics. The border's one of them. No longer can Democrats defend their border policies. They can't ignore the border crisis anymore because, well, it's happening in their backyard now, whether they like it or not. When it comes to defunding the police, when it comes to all their rhetoric, their modern legacy on the topic, they're all backtracking. At the time, of course, it was common sense policy. This is how we're going to change the world. Now it's, oh, we messed up. Let's change the narrative before we get stomped in the next election. And now, of course, on the issue of the 2020 pandemic, all of a sudden, with talks of us, let's say, reviving some of the old policies and authoritarian measures, let's call them, well, all of a sudden, Democrats seem to be having a little bit of an epiphany moment. The always right, always righteous Democrats are apparently finally admitting their faults. Well, kind of. Not really, but kind of. The closest you're going to get from dishonest scoundrels like this. We're talking about Gavin Newsom on this one. He did an interview, and I just found the whole thing, let's say, frustrating, you know, stupid. Let's take a look at what he had to say, and then let's talk about the facts. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, this Gavin Newsom interview. I have never seen an individual with such a low level of self-awareness. It's unbelievable. And that idea is going to pop up a couple times here. Let's first start off with this. Quote, "We would have done everything differently. Gavin Newsom takes mulligan on botched pandemic response."
During COVID, you were pretty strict with the lockdowns here. And it was an interesting piece in Harper's that sort of was critical of your decisions from this perspective. Here, you prioritized this industry, but you were tougher on those that just wanted to go worship. What do you say to that, Chris?
I think there's a lot of humility, and we didn't know what we didn't know. And it was hardly I. It was we, collectively. And I think all of us, in terms of our collective wisdom, we've evolved. We didn't know what we didn't know. We're experts in hindsight. We're all geniuses.
But think about what you ended up collectively prioritizing. You prioritized an industry, one specific one, but then didn't prioritize maybe one whose maybe values you didn't connect with.
I don't think it's a binary. There was iterations within that theme.
Firstly, Gavin Newsom responds by, "It was not I, it was we." Yeah, listen, doofus. You're the executive of the state. You're the guy. I don't know if it was I, it was we. Doesn't take responsibility from his own policy decisions that he enacted on a state executive level, but then also claims that we would do literally everything different now. That's kind of funny because I seem to remember Gavin Newsom and his entourage calling us extreme conspiracy theorists, promoting dangerous misinformation throughout the entire process. Oh, let me guess, Mr. Gavin. That wasn't I, that was we. Yeah, nothing is their fault, right? He admits that they got pretty much everything wrong, but then shifts the blame to a more collective we than I. I mean, what a guy. And you know, it's funny, his entire defense falls apart when you just think about his counterpart. Gavin Newsom's Republican counterpart is Ron DeSantis. You got two coastal states, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast, dramatically different areas, dramatically different states. You had one governor who went full tyrant, and you had another who used his position as the state's executive to challenge narratives, to challenge policy, to veto policy. You know, he actually used his position to do the right thing and look out for the little guy. You know, in Ron DeSantis' situation, it certainly was I and not as much we. But Gavin Newsom claims that no, that's not how it works. No, that's exactly how it works. Gavin Newsom wanted to enact a policy shift in California. He could have 100% done it, but he didn't do it because he was playing politics, and apparently politics is more important than common sense policy. If Ron DeSantis and Republicans on the other side of the coast are doing something else and doing something different, well, then Gavin Newsom can't possibly follow that policy, because then that proves that Ron DeSantis was right. And so he had to do the opposite. He had to dig his heels in and be the authoritarian that he dreams of being, that he fantasizes about. Lo and behold, a year and a half later, this clown goes on Chuck Todd's MSNBC show and basically admits that, yeah, the entire time I was wrong, and if I was to go back, I would pretty much do everything differently. In other words, words, he's admitting that he was wrong, that he acted as a tyrant, and Ron DeSantis was right. But of course, he'll never admit that, no. Instead, what he'll say is this.
I worry about democracy. I worry about the fetishness for autocracy that we're seeing, not just from Trump, but around the world and notably across this country. I've made the point about DeSantis. I think he's functionally authoritarian.
This guy literally just went on NBC News after admitting that he did everything wrong and said Ron DeSantis is a tyrant, an authoritarian. Let me get this straight. The guy who enacted policy that forced procedures on people is apparently the freedom guy, the guy who shut people's businesses down, the guy who shut people inside their own homes, the guy who stopped kids from going to school, the guy who stopped extracurricular activities and sporting activities, shut pretty much all regular folk down, meanwhile allowing lobbyist groups, powerful unions, and major corporations to continue business as usual. Apparently, that guy is the freedom guy, and the guy who didn't exert state government power, the guy who allowed people to make decisions for themselves, the guy who allowed people to continue to earn a living and feed their families, that guy is the authoritarian. Gavin Newsom is the biggest clown on planet Earth. Obviously, this guy's trying to rewrite history. He doesn't want you to remember this photo right here. You see this photo of Gavin Newsom? Yeah, that's a photo that, first of all, will live in infamy. And most importantly, that's a photo that nobody should ever forget, because when Gavin Newsom's saying what he's saying, this photo is all you need as a rebuttal to any argument that he makes on that topic. When Gavin Newsom, and it's not just the photo, I mean, headlines like this, this beautiful headline pretty much debunks any Gavin Newsom rewriting of history on the topic that he could possibly come up with. And boy, oh boy, is Gavin Newsom trying to rewrite history. Let me show you what I mean by that.
I think these culture wars have gone too far. At the same time, I don't criticize those poor parents out there that have been ginned up. There's a lot of misunderstanding, misrepresentation out there because people are weaponizing these grievances against vulnerable communities led by DeSantis. But this is why California is so essential. This is why we matter.
He wants to market California as the freedom state. Yeah, right. He is the slimiest political snake in the entire bucket of snakes. He's the slimy one who can slither on through and make it right to the top. The things that this guy says without realizing the irony, without realizing the hypocrisy, it's simply unbelievable. He said this during the interview as well.
I think another 4 years of Donald Trump will break us.
I hope we don't have to experience that.
I like this.
But I worry about democracy. I worry about the fetishness for autocracy that we're seeing, not just from Trump, but around the world and notably across this country. I've made the point about DeSantis. I think he's functionally authoritarian. I'm worried more in many respects about Trumpism, which transcends well beyond his term and time and tenure.
I'm worried DeSantis would be a greater threat to democracy.
I leave that to more objective minds. I'm concerned about democracy fundamentally in this country.
I understand you say for more objective minds.
I think the vengeance in Donald Trump's heart right now is more of a threat.
No worries, Kyle.
So another 4 years
could.
Yeah,
it's not something.
I'm not going to wallow in. I'm going to work hard to get President Biden reelected and work hard to make the case for what he's done for this country.
Gavin Newsom claims that another 4 years of Donald Trump would, quote, break us. That democracy would cease to exist as we know it if Trump was to win again. Oh, definitely Donald Trump's the problem. Yeah, here's my issue with that. This is California.
It looks like New York. It doesn't look like California. It looks like Kensington.
The guy who has led California to the highest level of poverty, the guy who is currently leading the richest state in the union, but has one of the lowest academic outcomes in terms of the public schooling system. The guy overseeing one of the biggest housing crises, homelessness crisis, crime crisis. The list goes on and on and on. That guy is telling you that Donald.
I'm able to debunk these clips just by watching them because we've seen so much of this. That is not California. I mean, I'm sure there's areas in California that are similar, but this is not California.
Trump will, quote, break us. No, Gavin, the only one who's broken anything is you. You and your Democrat cronies have broken California, and you have absolutely no authority to speak on any of these topics. Absolutely unbelievable. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Just a quick little Gavin Newsom video. I mean, chances are this guy's going to run for president one day. So I guess we're just trying to get ahead of that a little bit. Gavin Newsom.
All right. Now, back to the story. So we've got... What do we got here? A couple of interesting little stories.
Yeah, that's true. It is all lefty ruled. But...
Best Hassan stream ever. Yeah. Well, if it was a Hassan stream, I would have had to leave someone else's content playing. Then it would have been good. Okay, so we talked about Rustler. We talked about... Let's see. Oh, Aquaman. We didn't talk about Aquaman. Does anybody give a shit about the... Sorry, pardon my French. Does anybody care about Aquaman? Yeah, shit, yeah, garbage just on stream. Yeah, I had to leave. I would have had to leave someone else's video up to really to really dominate. I did a video about this standalone on. I
would say it's all socialism. I wouldn't say it's all communism.
And Rumble, but I like to keep my Rumble stream mostly, Rumble exclusive, kind of, so you don't have to rewatch the same content twice. Okay, yeah, your responses were about as exactly how I thought they would be. Yeah, I think I'm kind of over Cape stuff. This fall we're gonna have this fall we're gonna
Man, my
have
fucking
marbles,
elbow is
and that'll
killing me
probably be
today.
like the end of it. That's my guess.
But that's what I'm saying. You say all statism, so
I think this is an interesting story, though.
I agree.
So last week, I talked about and reported on the crumbling Hollywood strike. The Hollywood Writers Guild strike, which was then joined by the actors, has been going on something like.
So you have conservative status, you have libertarian status, which is an oxymoron kind of me, if you're a true libertarian. But you have them, and both of those, I think, don't realize the act of asking someone to rule you is socialism.
Like 5 months now. And what's interesting about it, what I find the most interesting about it is that somehow life has gone on. Now, look, admittedly, it has hurt my channel. I'm going to have to diversify my content. I'm going to have to remember that I used to cover video game stuff and make that a part of my content again, and probably even have to mix in some other topics that I haven't covered in a long time, because Hollywood had been providing me an unstoppable assembly line of cringe to point and laugh at. Well, the Hollywood actors essentially had decided that they were no longer capable of striking, that they were going to go back to work. And if you were Bill Maher, it was because he cared about the little guy, and he was really just trying, even though Bill Maher's worth $200 million and could have easily paid their salaries during the strike, he cared about the little guy. And so he was going to go back to work, not because he definitely wanted to push his propaganda into everyone's living rooms, but because he was going to do it for the little guy. Drew Barrymore also decided that she was going to return to TV without her writers. And she was absolutely demolished by the woke media and ended up crumbling. You've got to see this. I've got it somewhere here. She ended up putting up this video and then deleting it because she was getting crushed.
I deeply apologize to writers. I deeply apologize to unions. I deeply apologize. Members of the
What is going on with her video? Like, she looks like it's like a hostage video.
I wanted to own a decision so that it wasn't a PR protected situation. And I just.
So you're doing PR protection now because you ain't got no balls.
In a place.
Scab. Scab.
To upset or hurt anyone. That's who I am.
I just wanted to make
gonna
money.
Cry. She's gonna cry. I mean, what? First of all, you already took all of the backlash. And now it's like, you see this, whoever this David Slack is, he's a TV writer, okay? I love how they're like, we said it wasn't too late to do the right thing, and we meant it. Thank you, Drew Barrymore, for standing with us. Here's the harsh reality, and I've said this other times I've covered the writer's strike. Here's what the writers really need to know. They will be.
I will drive. I'm going to leave here a little bit early and drive by the
12
strike.
months, they will be at least 25 to 30% replaced by AI. In the next 24 months, it will be somewhere around 60 to 70% replaced by AI. In the next 36 months, 80 to 90% of them will be replaced by AI. That's what this is. The writers, I believe, are in an impossible position because there are almost certainly some good writers. I'm sure, I want to believe that there are some good writers in Hollywood. But
so for reviews, negative reviews, or anything on any of the Google pages that I manage, I'm strictly using AI to respond to them now, and it's fucking hilarious.
But she got absolutely demolished. Now, I don't care after she knelt before Dylan Mulvaney and worshipped him.
The first 3 people I did it with removed the review. The negative reviews. They removed it. I didn't even have to ask Google to.
She wrote, I have listened to everyone. I'm making the decision to pause the show's premiere until the strike is over. I have no words to express my deepest apologies to anyone I've hurt. And of course, to the incredible team who works on the show and has made it what it is today.
I'll be in Pittsburgh Wednesday. We're going to have Lupper with Dirty Dog, me and the wife. And then we're going to West Virginia for that Hope in the Hills festival. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're driving back Sunday. And I took one day off too, just to recoup.
Today, we really tried to find our way forward. And I truly hope for a resolution for the entire industry very soon. Yikes. Someone said, quick question, when does the strike stop? And then he wrote, when the studio CEO stopped acting like spoiled children and sit back down at the bargaining table ready to make a fair deal. Okay. If anybody is acting, look, I'm not going to simp for studio execs. Okay, so I want to be very clear. The reason I stand so strongly against the writer strike, first of all, it's costing me money, but that's not really what it is. It's that a large percentage of these writers are propagandists that want to push. They want to make your young sons and daughters look at themselves in the way that they want them to look at, not the way that they want to raise your kids for you. And like, there are good writers, I am sure, but then the problem is what Hollywood wants to put out is propaganda. So it's
probably kind of like the Detroit version, just scattered all over.
Issued after teary-eyed apology for resuming talk show during writer's strike. Like, well, 48 Drew. That's. I think she like had extra makeup to have bigger bags under her eyes or something like that. Like, it's hilarious to me. Pro-union journalists also joined the nasty pile-on against Drew Barrymore with radical leftist Molly Jung Fast calling her a scab. Technically, a scab is somebody that comes into work in replacement of.
It's sporadic in Detroit now because so many places have gotten gentrified.
Is technically not a scab.
Them areas look a whole lot nicer.
The ET actress posted a tearful Friday video Friday, which she defended the decision to restart filming on the syndicated Drew Barrymore show while also directly apologizing to the striking writers. I deeply apologize. Later, she explained that the show will resume production. Why am I doing this? I certainly couldn't have expected this kind of attention. We aren't going to break rules and we will be in compliance. I just want to do it because I said this is bigger than me and we have other people's jobs on the line. Again, so she's still saying she's also worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. It's like, Drew Barrymore would like you to know that undermining union solidarity at the most crucial moment in Hollywood labor history makes her the victim. And it's been like a super tough week for her. I love it. I don't think that this is like in football where millionaires are arguing with billionaires about money and they expect us to care. Like everyday people don't care. We can't relate to this stuff. Drew Barrymore, I'm sure, is worth more than $100 million. The writers who are striking, many of which are probably also extremely rich. And if they're not rich, they're ideologues that are happy to push woke trash. So it's like, here's testimony. I haven't had television over a decade. I don't see a reason to get one. I mean, it's funny to me.
I believe there's nothing I can do or say in this moment to make it okay.
She doesn't believe anything she's saying, by the way.
I wanted to own a decision so that it wasn't a PR protected situation. And I would just take full responsibility for my actions.
She's clearly reading a script too.
I know there's just.
You can watch her eyes. I thought she could read a teleprompter.
Nothing I can do that will make this okay for those it's not okay with. I fully accept that. I fully understand.
I can't believe she's trying to squirt it. She's squirting a tear.
To make decisions from that place. Polish this with bells and whistles and publicists and corporate rhetoric. I'll just stand out there and accept.
Almost certainly cashmere sweater. What would PETA say? I mean, she can't even look at the camera. You can still look at the camera and read a script.
Go on during a global pandemic.
Oh, no. Bring up the coof.
Everything that the world has experienced through 2020.
Yeah, this person here, just with 1 million followers, saying, just say you're a scab. What's funny is only 16,000 likes.
If anyone here is not, I know you.
I mean, it's like it got progressively cringy, 53% as it went long, 5 times longer. I mean,
channel,
I think that these actors feel like they don't need these writers, and they're probably right. They're almost certainly right.
357, if you're not in it,
I think it's pretty funny to me how they all turn on each other. And I would say almost certainly, you see, what's her net worth? Now these websites that report net worth are largely a guess, but 125 million. So she could certainly survive. So could Bill Maher. They're all turning on each other, and I couldn't be happier about it because it's all hilarious to me. Because we all know that they really just want to be in front of the camera, spreading their propaganda. That's what it's all really about. Yeah, her notes were too far to the left. Yeah, I think we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back and we're gonna see, that in fact COVID did kill Hollywood. I think that's a very valid point, Jim. COVID absolutely destroyed Hollywood because all of a sudden everyone's like, oh wait, I don't need this anymore. I can watch streaming, and I don't even have to watch streaming if I don't want to. People hit back and got found YouTubers and streamers and get entertainment from that. Like that's the truth of it, is that streaming's but never been more popular. Do you think, I mean, look at that show, the Strike Force 5, which everyone made fun of with all those late night TV show host people. I bet you any one of them live streaming on their own could not touch what like Kai Cenat or iShowSpeed get when they live stream. I mean, Kai Cenat and iShowSpeed have zero production costs. And the best part is Hollywood was the area, Hollywood was the reason, Hollywood was at the forefront of pushing COVID insanity. It was at the forefront of pushing, of pushing the scamdemic.
Subscribe, see, there. Thank you.
What I
Matt.
also think is funny
That's
is
what I'm gonna start.
Rachel Zegler. I think she's pretty funny. Well, here's
I'm only
here's an
gonna
interesting,
say Doc Nation.
interesting little story from over the weekend. Everyone's favorite Snow White actress, Rachel Zegler, who has, I believe, not been in a single movie that's made any money. I see all the toxicity about her around, obviously Snow White, the toxicity around her in the Hunger Games prequel, and the fact that the only other movie I think she's ever been in lost over $100 million. Well, everyone who saw this picture, like resurfacing, she's so cool and bold to be flipping off the camera, like so stunning and brave. You see a lot of people, this post that Snow White might be the most insufferable woman I've ever seen. You could smell the smug off of her. Respect is earned. The interview on the red carpet was a total disaster on her part, as well as Disney. It's so over the top. Another self-inflicted marketing disaster by a large corporation. Well, these are the women that you hire, and men, to be honest. These are the people that they choose to staff. And if you look at Rachel Zegler and you want to look at any of the news around her, it's all negative. Rachel Zegler actually responded to a troll who asked her about shaving her back. Ugh. What? What's that about? She stirs backlash over old comments about Disney's Snow White live action, Snow White controversy, how Rachel Zegler angered both Disney fans and conservatives. Then you look at, Hunger Games director says Rachel Zegler Lucy wears her spiciness on her sleeve, where Katniss was almost asexual. Great. Tell me if the movie's any good. Tell me if the movie's any good or not. And all this is Snow White and the 7 politically correct companions, right? Well, since she's on strike and can't promote her movie, she's been quote posting nonstop on Twitter. Beyond honored to be included in the 2023 Times 100 Next list, along with a beautiful piece written by none other than my friend Rita Moreno. Oh, your friend wrote a piece about you in Time Magazine. It's almost as if your friend got you voted into this. I mean, it's what's wild to me is then you see this. She posts a song wearing her I Am Kenough hoodie, co-posting about how her life is just so rough. And she's like, me and Bo Burnham agreeing on burnt out YouTuber to anxiety-ridden entertainer pipeline. What? So now it's like, oh, it's so tough being me. Now, of course, all of her replies say she's locked down her replies. Now, I don't know how long her replies have been locked down, but I suspect, not that long, because when was she responding to somebody about her back hair? I assume that, I assume that this is only people, I suppose they could have responded to someone they just saw going on around the internet. But anyway, so she uploads this song, which I'm not going to play because it'll probably get copyrighted, but I want you to all start crying for her, okay? I want you to start crying for her. She was the one, by the way, who went aggressively after Gina Carano. Aggressively. Mike Harlow, I'm calling for a complete and total shutdown of theater kids until we can figure out what's going on. I mean, it's look, the girl can sing. I'm not going to take that. It's just like saying, it's like saying, what's her name? The other chick, Halle Bailey from Little Mermaid. I mean, she can sing too. It's not, I won't do that. And just like all these weird bot accounts, all the hate towards Rachel has made absolutely no sense to me. And it makes me so angry that she has to go through this. I don't even understand that she's literally on the internet coping. I'm stunning and brave. I turn off comments on this garbage. So is she still playing Snow White? I hate that all these clouds have done to her. Living for the Knuff sweatshirt, though. I hope you know that you are loved and appreciated by a lot of people, dear Rachel. I think that when you go into Hollywood and you look at a lot of the replies to a lot of the things going on in Hollywood.
Yeah, I muted on purpose.
I think that these are fake accounts. Like a lot of them. It's so weird to be simping this hard. And it happens for men too. Like you look at a lot of the replies to Johnny Depp and they're just like, oh my God, you're the most beautiful. You're a ray of sunshine. This guy, it's like, what? These people are Hollywood weirdos. They don't care about you. I mean, Rachel Zegler's back and this time she's complaining again. I mean, it's like it's this is what you're doing is like a weird PR thing. I don't think that it's going to go ever. Like, I can't. It's not going to change anybody. Like, all she has to do is come out and say like, "Oh, I'm actually not an insufferable." You know, it's either slay queen or this woman sucks. You literally give me life. XOXO. Who is it? See, these are bot accounts. 24 following, 2 followers. I don't think that these are real people. I think her PR agency is like having people quote tweet this because it's so cringe. She's like, "Oh my god, I'm just you have to understand what it's like to be Rachel Zegler. It's so difficult being me." It's really different from this video of her. I mean, where are these videos? You know?
She is a fantastic talent. These people should shut the fuck up, back the fuck off, and let this woman just shine her light.
Whoa. That's about Rachel Zegler? This is also the same person. If I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a day in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it's streamed online. These people are so out of touch. They're so completely out of touch. If you look at the way anybody outside their bubble views them, talks about them, they're insufferable. Like, and it's just these weird, like, stan accounts. Like, just search up Rachel Zegler on YouTube and holy F, this stuff is not okay. Really? You're not allowed to not like this person? Look, some people think she's attractive, and I'm not going to refute that, since that's like, you know, the different, you know, people, a matter of personal taste. But like how she looks and what kind of person she actually is kind of matter. They kind of matter. And the stuff that she says, like,
You know, the original came out like 2,000 years ago, and very evidently so. It's extremely outdated when it comes to the ideas
this is someone memeing on her, by the way.
of women being in roles of power and what a woman is fit for in the world. It's no longer year zero. She's not going to be supported by Joseph. She's not going to be dreaming about being a mother. She's going to be dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be. In the original, there's like a big focus on these wise men who literally stalk a baby. Weird. So yeah, we didn't do that this time. We cast 3 trans women of color. They're not going to be bringing gold, frankincense, and myrrh. They're going to be bringing Mary a vibrator, birth control, and the number for Planned Parenthood. She's not
Based. Is this actual, like, if that's her? Like, I think this is just an, I don't even understand.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937.
It's no longer 1937. 1937.
I mean, I don't know. You know, this is a rod of your own making. You know, like these are the things that you're saying. You know, you hate the history of it. You want to remake it. This is Walt Disney share price. What number of Rachel Zegler interviews? Yeah, she's definitely a huge net negative on them. It'll be interesting to see how many more interviews they allow. Although it might, you know, maybe it'll help. I don't know. I don't think I care. Like, they keep hiring these same brats, basically. These insufferable girl bosses. And the only men they hire are like thanking their lucky stars that they got the job because they know they're a white man, and then, like, you know, that they're lucky to even be there. She even said that in one interview where she's like, "Oh, yeah, they might cut him anyway."
If I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Why? Why do you deserve to be paid for every hour it gets streamed? She's just awful. I can't wait for this movie. I can't wait for this movie to come out. Wow, dried out on that one. All right. The wall is going to love her. Well, I'm going to get to work editing down all of these standalone videos for today. We're going to have probably 5 on YouTube and 5 on Rumble. And we'll be back tomorrow in 22 hours. We'll be live again. I hope you'll join me. If you haven't yet, please do click that green follow button down below the video. And if you haven't yet, please do click that thumbs up Rumble button. There's only 504 out of 4,000 people. Hopefully you'll do that. And make sure you check out pullupquarteringgold.com and just, you know, take a look at what you can get to help protect your investment, help protect your long-term finances with precious metals. Quarteringgold.com. Give them a call. Maybe you'll score that free Ronald Reagan silver coin. Can't hurt to talk to somebody. I waited way too long to start my retirement planning. I didn't even start basically till this year. So make sure you get after it. And we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, good timing on that. Let's see, what else did I have? I want to play that Bowel video in. Oh, yeah, thank you. Thanks again, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going to be on that. I'm going to start streaming from there as soon as I get in the car. But yeah, I'm going to drive by the strike, do some honking for him. I did want to do this, though. Kensington Tea Time. Watch this. I got it in 2 times. Let's see what it does.
Yo, what's going on right here, man? What's happening? What is happening right now? Is this live right now? Oh my God, what is happening?
Really? I watched it. I don't think I commented on it, but I did watch it. Your video of the stolen vehicle recovery. It's the last one I see. Playing 0.5? Okay. Hang on. Bring it back up again.
Stream down. Yo, what's going on right here, man? What's happening? What is happening right now? Is this live right now? Oh my God! What is happening?
Is she dead? She looked dead. All right, guys.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me, cause she got a bad little waist. And we tearing down this place, off the liquor that we chase. Casamigos to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on a tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine. Got a fine little body and her mind's kinda naughty. They say that once you taste it, you cannot replace it. She could get you high, all the dopamine inside triggers fast once she's naked. Her body's a creation. They say the devil made her for his entertainment, but even he couldn't learn how to contain it. Her high heels make a damn good statement. There is no replacement, a body by Satan. Cause she got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place. Off the liquor that we chase, Casamigos to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on a tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine.